It's time for Oskaloosa Indians football
on the No Coast Network.
Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Petrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing.
Oskaloosa Indians football starts
now on the No Coast Network. It's time for Oskaloosa Indians football.
Welcome in. We are live from the Lacey Recreation Complex Football Stadium here on a rainy and just yucky night of Southeast Iowa. And Emery Songer, alongside my partner in crime, Doug DeCock, the coach. Jay Harm's going to be joining us in a little bit. The Oskaloosa Indians on senior night in front of what probably will be a smaller crowd because of Mother Nature this evening, taking on the Chiefs from Keokuk, a team 0-6 on the season so far. Oskaloosa a big favorite, but Doug, that's not going to stop these kids from going out here trying to execute and get ready for a big matchup next week at Washington.
Well, and you're exactly right, Emery. The key tonight is to execute and also to get better. Coach Jenkins puts out a little press release, and he said, it doesn't matter who we're playing. The goal is to get better. So it's rainy. It's windy. One thing it is not that it could be, it's not cold. So that makes it a little bit more bearable out here. It's currently not raining. So we'll have football tonight. And Keokuk comes to town to face the Indians, and they're winless on the season. And they'll be looking for their first win, but I don't think they're going to get it here tonight.
Yeah, we talk about analytics and the spread. BCMoreRankings.com does a very good job of using analytics to most of the time properly and accurately predict what a result may be. And Oskaloosa is well over a 40-point favorite in this game. The biggest upset in the state of Iowa this year was a team that was about a 22-point favorite losing. So you're going to have to double that for Keokuk to pull off the upset here. But that doesn't mean Oskaloosa is not trying to come out here and play the best game that they can. They want to get as many guys in the rotation as possible. They have some guys that they're hoping to get back into action. We see Vincent Ramirez and Tucker Nunnikoven dressed. I think a lot of that may have had to do with senior night, but they are going through the warm-ups and everything as if they may see the field, and they haven't played Nunnikoven since week 1, and Ramirez broke his hip right after the CrossFit Games in the early portion of camp. So I wouldn't imagine to see those guys on the field tonight, but it's just a matter of trying to keep everybody else healthy, get out there, try to perform the best that they possibly can, and maybe work some of these other guys into spots. We see a lot of the backup defensive guys last week. It'd be nice to see those guys also come out there. We saw some good linebacker play, Snakenberg at cornerback. You just want to have as much depth as possible because you never know what you'll need later on this season.
Yeah, good point. And, I mentioned to my kids when I was out there for senior night, I said, guys, we're late enough now. I said, one guy on that team can take you out, and that's the end of your career. So they're not planning on playing college football. So I said, keep your head on a swivel and play hard. It's easy to get lax in this situation in a game like this, and then you take a pop or you get rolled up, and boom, your season's done. We're getting late in the year now. They got to come out here and be sharp and be intense. I know it's hard, but they've got to find a way to do it. Next week is a huge ball game. We all know that. And they just need to get ready for that one also.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week, was a similar situation, and they did come out and they executed and looked very good in doing so right from the start. As the official coin flip's happening right now, you're seeing that on your screen. They will reenact the result of all of this. It looks as though Keokuk has won the toss and probably will defer, but we'll get all that information just before kickoff. We are about 25 minutes or so away from the opening kick, and Keokuk and Oskaloosa are going to do the best that they can to get themselves prepared for what should be a rainy and slick night here in Oskaloosa. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the intense numbers that these two teams are going to be bringing to the table, what Keokuk needs to do to try to limit Oskaloosa's offense, and what Oskaloosa is going to be looking to improve on from the last few weeks. That's all coming your way. It's Oskaloosa football against Keokuk right here on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities. Where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success. Where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Kevin, meet your father.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Trusted advice for life.
Kevin, how's your mom?
Thank you.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
Back here live at the Lacey Recreation Complex, the Oski Indians going through their warm-ups. We're still about 20 minutes away from the opening kickoff. And Doug, we talked about what is interesting for this game. Not that Oskaloosa has, you want to say it as respectful as possible, but Oskaloosa is a good football team, a playoff caliber team. Keokuk hasn't won a game this season. So with that context clues, you can tell Oskaloosa is a big favorite in tonight's ball game. But there are certain things that we up here in the booth would like to see get cleaned up a little bit. What are a couple of things that you're hoping the Indians perform just a little bit better than we've seen in the last few weeks?
Well, I'd like to see a little more consistency in the running game and some, positive yards every play. But last week we came out in the second half, did a much better job. But the first half we really didn't own the line, I felt like, and we're able to run the ball. If you go back to that game Solon played us the first drive against us, Solon did what I would like to see. 5 yards a pop. Here we go. We're coming at you. We're just this is what we're doing, and do it. And we should be able to do that against a team like this. Now, Keokuk's coming in here. They're a young team. They're playing. We've been looking at this. They're starting a freshman quarterback. He's the leading passer and rusher. They got two sophomores that were right behind in rushing. So they're trying to maybe bite the bullet here for a year or two and say, hey, in 2 years when these sophomores are seniors, we're going to be pretty darn good. So those kids are going to play hard. They're playing varsity football. They're going to come out here and play hard and give Oskaloosa all they want. The Indians, as I mentioned, need to establish a rushing game tonight. Ball could be wet and rainy. They also need to, once again, limit the penalties. Try to cut back on those. Last week was the first week that their special teams struggled a little bit. So we'd like to see that cleaned up. We let some balls hit the ground on punts. We had punt returns against us that went for, 25 25, 30 yards a couple, 2, 3 times. And so those are a couple things we can work on tonight and clean up. Seth Howard's been throwing the ball pretty well last few weeks, and hope to see him continue to do that and everybody keep clicking.
Well, you mentioned Keokuk trying to bite the bullet, and I want to go back to that because last year they didn't end up as a team that really scared anybody on paper, but they did make a huge impact in the district race because they upset Washington in week 6 of last year just ahead of their matchup with Oskaloosa, which at that point made it very interesting because Keokuk was still in the playoff race at that point. Washington had just grabbed a loss that nobody expected, and that gave Oskaloosa a chance to not really have to worry about week 9 at all. If they took care of business against Washington, they knew they were going to be in anyways, and even if they lost that game, there could have been a tiebreaker in any way, shape, or form. So Keokuk didn't do that this year. In fact, they got beat soundly, almost by 60 points against Washington last week. So this is a team that even though they were down a little bit last year, not necessarily as bad as it is now, they still factored into this race, and they want to do that here as well. Now, you could do that a lot of different ways. All you have to do is exploit one thing. And if they exploit one thing, then Washington's going to get this film and know that might be something we can attack. What are you looking for Keokuk that you think that overall Oskaloosa really needs to key in on that to make sure that there is no weakness on film when Washington takes a look at what the Indians do this week?
Well, last week our rush defense was fantastic. I think Fairfield had negative yards, so I look for Keokuk to maybe throw the ball a little bit more than what they have in the past. They've got quarterback's got 93 pass attempts, and that's through 6 games, so that's not a great amount, but I look for them to open it up. What do they have to lose tonight? Try some different things, try some reverses. Like you said, if something like that works, or if they see that our linebackers don't stay home and they float to the ball too quick and they're susceptible to a counter play or a reverse or something like that, then those are things that Washington will be able to pick up off of this film. So there is still a lot to play for tonight. And as you mentioned, last year's upset of Washington's probably was one of the biggest upsets in the state of Iowa.
Nobody expected Keokuk to even compete in that game. And for them to win that game the way that they did was surprising to everyone because that was a Washington team that many were picking to win this district.
Well, they were ranked number 1 for a few weeks last week.
They started this season ranked number 2 in the Radio Iowa poll. Now, they're not now. I think people are kind of figuring out that maybe the hype train was a little bit much, but injuries have plagued them the last couple of years. Big-time injuries, not just little supplemental injuries with guys that you can find replacements for, like big-time players were getting banged up last season and this season. And you don't want to give teams excuses, and I'm sure they don't need the excuse. They just want to win football games. But you have to give them credit. Even though the injuries have plagued them this year, they have still looked stronger on their schedule this year than they did last year. And Oskaloosa cannot take anything for granted, even if they are a favorite going into Washington next week.
Oh, no, that game's going to be about a picket probably on the BC Moore, maybe Oskaloosa a slight favorite. But you're right. I think Washington's starting to play better and maybe gain confidence. They lost their quarterback early in the year, from what I've heard, to a broken arm. And so it takes a little while to get somebody else in there. I don't know if they've moved Javon Willis to that position, but if they haven't a new quarterback in there, it just takes a little while to adapt. And I think we're going to see Washington at their best next week, minus Ryan Regard, but he is playing defense. But I think they're playing better football right now, and they'll be at their best next week when Oskaloosa visits.
Again, Oskaloosa has business to take care of tonight, but it is senior night. You're out there parading around in a downpour, a monsoon, if you will, and you get to celebrate a couple of your boys Tanner and Keaton, who, of course, have been major players for Oskaloosa this year. And a lot of these seniors want, for even if it's a smaller crowd because of the weather tonight, go out on this field for the last time that we know of. Barring a home playoff game, this is the last time they'll get a chance to play in front of these fans at this stadium. And there's a solid number of them, close to 20 seniors on this team. This is a different feeling for them, and I'm sure pretty emotional, and they want to go out on a high note.
Yeah, they sure do. And these guys have been I remember coaching them in, I think it's 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and I think the stadium was fairly new, and we was able to come over here and play a championship game, and how excited all the players were. And now you look at them 7, 8 years later, and they're they're ready to graduate. So this class has done a nice job. They were undefeated as 7th graders. They had some injuries, key injuries in their 8th grade year, and they lost a couple games, and then they came back and were undefeated as 9th graders. So they've had a lot of success. They were part of the playoff team last year. They would like to win and make the playoffs this year and maybe stamp themselves as one of the more successful classes in Oskaloosa football.
That's one thing that we're looking for. By the way, while you were saying that, I was looking up what the early BC Moore line will be for next week, which obviously can change. It's 5 points right now. So anything within a score, you basically have to it is a pick 'em for the most part, and it should be very interesting. Oskaloosa would love to get great momentum moving tonight with their matchup against Keokuk. We'll go ahead and we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll look at more stats and get you set for what's going to be coming up tonight right here on the No Coast Network.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Clow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Clow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Clow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Experience the Bruxvort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
The Oskaloosa Indian Marching Band. The Marching Indians getting set to bring you what will be, I don't see the rest of the horns out, and I'm sure they're probably trying to keep those protected, but got a few of the horns out there, a few of the tubas. So, of course, and it's a rainy night. You got to protect the instruments, but
I think they've been in some competitions in which they've done very well.
This past weekend, Saturday, my wife is the color guard instructor, and they were in the top 3 in everything.
Yeah,
in
they're
every
at Valley
caption.
tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
huge.
that's a big one.
That is the biggest one, I think, of the state. I mean, if you score well there, the audience is the biggest as well. So I can tell you this, that program is on the rise. Do not sleep on them if you are an Oskaloosa supporter. I lied, the other horns are coming around the other end. So there will be all the horns. We'll have a full ensemble out here, but a little bit of a sparse crowd, at least right now. You can understand that with the weather and the matchup also. And the fact that folks can watch us on MCG Channel 7, check us out on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN, RadioKMZN.com with the live video stream. The help of the Oskaloosa Video Productions crew. The coach, Jay Harms, is bouncing around. We'll try to catch up with him, but if it's raining out there, it's not safe for him to have all of the all that electronics.
Surely don't think people stayed home to watch this game tonight on TV, do you?
No, absolutely not. But I
mean, they can't let a little rain scare them.
You know we wouldn't do that. But this is for the community.
Hello, everybody. We know you're out there.
If you were, questioning whether or not you would catch hypothermia or you are allergic to wetness, if you have a little bit of Wicked Witch and you think you might melt, this is an opportunity for you to check us out live, of course, on the No Coast Network. So we appreciate you for joining us. And again, this is a great opportunity for us to work with the Oskaloosa High School and Oskaloosa Video Production Department as we have all season long. We appreciate them for all the help that they give us for the football games. Excited to do that for basketball as well. And it's just overall a real exciting time to be a member of this community, especially with the sports teams on the up and up as well. Makes it a lot more fun for us to cover. They are big favorites against this Keokuk team tonight. Keokuk 0-6 on the season. They have not scored more than 20 points in any one game, and that was to Fairfield, who Oskaloosa beat 54-0 last week. They have competed in a few matchups, but last week got lambasted at home by Washington 63-0, and that's what they're trying to kind of get the taste out of their mouth there. Solon put up 47 on them, 47-7. But they have, other than that Washington game, have scored at least once in every game. Oskaloosa would be a nice accomplishment if they are able to get a shutout for Oskaloosa. I'm sure that's a goal for Coach Jenkins as a defensive guy. Of course, the colors are getting presented as well. Let's go ahead and take a listen in to our national anthem. Our national anthem here live at the Oskaloosa High School for a football. It's not at the high school, it's at the high school football game as on Wisconsin being played by the Indians. The crowd that is on hand enjoying the experience. All the cheerleaders, dance team, they are in ponchos as the Indians come flying out of the tunnel, and they're getting set for their home matchup on senior night against the Chiefs of Keokuk. It's just me. Keokuk doesn't have a lot of guys here tonight.
They do not. It's like a mini swarm over there. They're gonna do their best. They're young. They probably got a little spunk to them, and Oskaloosa needs to come out just like they did last week and take the game to them and make sure they know who's the boss here early tonight.
Oskaloosa at 4-2 find themselves in district play, which is even more important, at 3-1. They have one loss in district play, chalk up a playoff berth unless there's some screwy three-way tie. If Solon gets beat by somebody else, it would require a little bit more than that, though, because I think Solon's played everybody that they need to make that the case. It would be interesting to see if there is a third team who could get into the mix. It's basically going to come down to that Washington-Oski game next week, barring West Burlington Notre Dame pulling an upset on Washington tonight or Oskaloosa being upset here by Keokuk.
Well, there is another important number, and it's 17.
Yes.
And, if you want to follow that, you can just say it's 17-0 Keokuk right now and start, because we need to win this game by 17. They do take 2 wild cards in Iowa State high school playoff football, so if you win we did win 5 district games by 17 points, which is a max that you can get, we would be in the hunt, even if we lost last week, for one of those at-large bids for the playoffs.
And that's interesting because if you win all of your games that you win by 17 plus, and even if you lose the 2 by 17 plus, there is a chance that you can get in. You're at least allowing yourself the opportunity. Unfortunately, if you have another district that finds themselves in a position in which, as you see the captains on the field and the deferment of the coin toss by Keokuk, and Oskaloosa will receive the opening kick. What is interesting, Doug, is the fact that you have, for a season, Doug, you have yourself a situation where you can lock in on 2 or 3 games that are really going to be the playoff deciders on your schedule. And if you lose one of those by less than 17 and you win the rest of them, you have given yourself a big leg up on the competition, because there are some districts in the state of Iowa that are going to be a little bit more competitive. That third-place team hung with the second-place team and the first-place team and still destroyed everybody below them. That's what the wild card is for, and that's why the 17-point rule exists. And with only 17 points, you can put up 70 points, and it doesn't matter. It keeps everybody close and makes it extremely important to watch what you're doing out there, be smart, but you don't have to keep the dogs on them just to run that score up.
Right.
To try to get yourself in a position with the point differential.
Yeah, I mean, you get up by, 30 or
get that running clock.
Yeah, get the running clock, and then you can call the dogs off. But it's kind of interesting. This season is almost a carbon copy of last year so far, and
in this district, it is literally.
It's just
outside of Keokuk and Washington.
Well, even Oskaloosa's season is
every week
is about exactly like last year.
And the games went the same way.
Yeah, they did.
Either way, it's Keokuk ready to kick off.
Miller could take one to the house tonight.
It is Miller back, but he will subside as it's going to be DJ Miles returning it from about the 8. Makes the first guy miss, makes the second guy miss, gets outside the hashes, gets outside the numbers. He's got some blockers in front of him, turns it up, he's across midfield. He's at the 45 and will be tackled. And a big return by DJ Miles. You talked about Miller trying to bring one back. If it wasn't for Braylon Martinez making a stop at the 42-yard line, Miles might have taken one to the house.
Yeah, and we've got pink flags tonight in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
That's why I did not see that.
It was hard to see that flag there, but it looks like we got to hold it about the 38-yard line. So right off the bat, Oskaloosa's whistled for a penalty, and that was one of the things I mentioned in the pregame that we hope to see, clean up a little bit. We had a couple weeks there where we played pretty well, but penalties have been a problem all year long.
We haven't checked in yet with the coach down on the sideline, Coach Jay Harms. Coach, you are on the sideline. What's the weather like down there?
Well, kind of gusty, guys. That wind about 13, 15 mile an hour out of the south-southeast, so that could play a little bit into this ball game tonight.
Yeah, we'll be checking in with you. Try to stay dry down there.
Yeah, so far so good.
First snap to Howard is just going to be a draw up the middle after the block in the back call. He's got plenty of space, turns it up, makes a man miss. He's across midfield. He's off to the races. Inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Oskaloosa on the first play from scrimmage. Chalk it up 72 yards for Howard.
Nice run by Seth Howard. He went right up the gut, broke a couple tackles right at about 5 yards. And I think it was fairly evident there you were seeing a case of men versus boys. We mentioned that Keokuk has a lot of young players, and Seth was able to just run right through there and outrun him. Made a nice move, his last move to dodge the last tackle and take it to the house.
Unbelievable start. They almost had a kick return taken back as Blom. The extra point is good right off the bat. A big kick return. It's called back on a illegal block in the back. First play from scrimmage, 72 yards for Seth Howard on the run. Oski will kick off after this quick break, leading 7-0 here on the No Coast Network.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
Well, how about that for a start? Oskaloosa, DJ Miles, close to a 50-yard return that was called back because of a penalty. And then on the first play from scrimmage, penalty, no penalty, who cares? Seth Howard on a QB draw right up the gut, made a few guys miss and ran 72 yards for the touchdown. Blom's extra point makes it 7-0, 22 seconds into the game.
Yeah, I was going to mention that the wind is at their back here in the first quarter, and you might see them air it out a little bit, but so much for that. One play, one touchdown.
And Blom's kickoff with the wind at his back, you would imagine touchback. And after a touchbackless game last week, despite having a ton of kickoffs, weather a little bit more conducive for that. Coach, you're down there on the sideline. I want to know, what's the guys down there like? I know it's tough to get up for a game like this, but they did so last week. What are they like down there atmospherically here this week?
Well, I think that's a big key right there, what we just saw that first play. I think that kind of got them going a little bit, and they know they're going to have some fun out here tonight. And, you know, Doug, I watched a lot of games at Community Stadium. You played a lot of games there, and, of course, after about 6-7 games, all you were playing was mud. And, of course, this kind of turf we have out here is not going to have any effect on this game. But, uh-oh.
Big play for Keokuk. A nice block on the edge and a missed tackle, and immediately a 27-yard pickup before Van Roekel can make the tackle by the quarterback, Corey Skinner, who you talked about. A freshman they've given the keys to this offense for, and he's their leading rusher. He is the offense.
Well, I'm not sure what happened there, but there was a big opening, whether they caught us on a blitz to the wrong area, but Keokuk with a nice play out right out of the box.
Yeah, a little read option. You're going to probably see a lot of that tonight. A gain of about 2.5, 3 yards. They go to the back with Braylon Martinez. Martinez does have 4.5 yards per carry. Keegan Carter, another runner, 4.6 yards per carry. But they just haven't given them the ball a whole lot. Between the two of them, less than 10 yards or 10 carries per game between the two of them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rely on them a little bit more, you think?
Well, and here they go. They just got big yards running the ball. Now they go empty set from the shotgun.
4 wide receivers and an H-back. Here's the snap. Quick look, and this is Skinner incomplete. It is Keaton DeCock on the coverage.
I don't understand that.
The intended target was Keegan Carter. And again, I just asked, you have 2 backs averaging over 4 yards a carry on the season, and they get it less than 10 times a game between them.
Well, and you had, you got almost 3 yards on that carry there on first down, and then you just emptied the backfield, and Oskaloosa knows what you're going to do then.
3rd and 7. I don't want to be too critical here. They have 2 backs now. They're going to roll out to the near side. Looking down the field is Skinner. Now he's going to try to run for it. He's got a little room, not enough room, and he's going to be pushed out at about the 45-yard line.
Well, and he lost his helmet.
Yeah, so he would have to come off the field anyways. But an impressive first play, but I would agree with you, as that was kind of close to being right on the edge of the maybe a 15-yarder. Oscar's going to have to watch that. That
was you got to keep your eyes up. If you're seeing the ground with your eyes, that's got to be a. And the referees are the ones that are going to change the game. If it's close like that, it needs to be a penalty. You got to keep your head up,
especially in a game like this.
Yes,
Oskaloosa. There's no punter back. They have just kind of a shotgun. They're going to run a play. The punter going to the far side, trying to get to the edge. He didn't make it. Great tackle. That's Van Roekel on the far side.
I think Keaton got him there.
No, you're right.
How about that for one? How much does he weigh?
They have number 5 running the football. There's not a 5 on my roster, and that frustrates
Ghost player every week.
It drives me nuts.
Nice
Just give me a roster that has a right number.
I got to give credit to my son there. He's not a big sticker, but he come up and stopped him cold.
It was, and that's why I thought it was Van Roekel.
Yeah.
He's been hitting people the last couple of weeks. But, Doug, what is going on with – I mean, we get a playbook, right? Like, and you give your playbook to your team, and you're trying to figure out what works. And it's week 7, and you had a thing that works, and you go away from it on the first drive. You're a big underdog, down 7 already. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, turnover on downs. They were a yard short. Here's a quick handoff right up the gut. Here is Hill. He's got plenty of space. Gets a block. Trying to get to the outside. Makes another man miss. Runs through a tackle, and eventually will be brought down at the 21-yard line by Jamin Close. That is another huge pickup on the ground for Oskaloosa, right on the edge of the red zone.
Well, they're going right up the middle, and I can't – I assume there's good blocking up there. Give credit to Hunter Else, Nick Kuntz, and Brant Brown right up the middle.
And give credit to Tanner DeCock, who really sealed the edge. Right back up the middle here with Hill, trying to run through another tackle, and it'll be dropped at about the 16, a gain of 5. you may not see Oskaloosa throw pass tonight.
Yeah, we're going to put the over-under on drives just for fun tonight at 7. So if Oskaloosa runs a drive where they have 7 or more plays, we're going to consider that a bad drive.
All right.
How's that sound?
All
we'll
right.
keep score that way. It's 1-0 under.
Here's the snap, a little read option. Howard will keep it. He's inside the 15. He's got some space, needs a block. Chapman gives him the block, and he's into the end zone. Another touchdown, 16 yards this time. Seth Howard running all over the Chiefs, and with 9:25 to go in the first quarter, Oski leads 13-0, PAT to follow.
Yeah, this one's going to be out of hand by into the first quarter, it looks like. Now, our defense needs to figure out what's going on here.
Well, I mean, if you can't, it's going to be, if they're running the opposite of what we think they might run, then it might be interesting. As Blom on to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick up, and it is a good one. 14-0, Oskaloosa. We're not even 3 minutes yet into this one. 9:25 left first quarter. Indians up 2 touchdowns. We'll take a quick break and be back with the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
Iowa Works, Southern Iowa, Mahaska County Agricultural and Rural Development Group, and the Iowa National Guard will be hosting a job fair. This event will provide networking opportunities for community members with employers to explore jobs, internships, and other career opportunities. This job fair is in honor of Veterans Day and will be held on November 9th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. For more information, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591 or email mcard@mahaskacounty.org.
Welcome back. We are live here from the Lacey Recreation Complex. You couldn't have drawn up a better start for Oskaloosa as they get the ball twice, and they run a total of 4 plays, 1 on the opening drive, 3 on the second drive, and 2 touchdown runs, one of 72 yards, one of 16 yards for Seth Howard. And I'm not going to worry about the stats tonight because they're going to be a little wacky.
Yeah, it's going to be an odd night tonight.
14-0, Oskaloosa the lead, 9:25 left still in the first quarter, and here is a low line drive kick all the way through the back of the end zone. Aaron Blom trying to get back on the right track with those touchbacks. Coach, down there on the sideline you talked about having fun, but what do the coaches need to do to keep these guys engaged in this one?
Well, I think kind of what you guys talked about. If you want to go by that 17-point, we're still trailing 17-14. So we got something to still keep, grinding and playing for. And yeah, great start. It's going to be a long night for Keokuk, and we're just going to, I think, blow this out early. But let's just keep playing hard. And so far, we look really good.
Yeah, there's an encroachment call. I think the ears are pinned back. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, Tanner was trying to time that, and he obviously didn't time it, and he went too far. So 5-yard penalty on Oskaloosa there.
3 wide receivers at the far side, 4 in the game.
Ooh.
And that's what we're talking about. Blake Van Veldhuizen probably wasn't even touched.
Ouch.
And absolutely destroys the back. Braylon Martinez in the backfield. And
Braylon is not very big.
What's he weigh?
125. 5'7", 125. That is not fair.
Uh-oh.
But you guys, that first series they had, if they don't throw the ball on second down,
who knows?
They have a chance to pick up, the first down. Move the chains.
I don't understand why they did that.
And whistle, timeout Keokuk. They're going to talk about it. Matt McGackey, he wants to chat it over. We'll go ahead and take a break with them. We'll be back after a quick break. Aussie leading 14-0 early first quarter here on the No Coast Network.
Love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
For over 30.
Oskaloosa, a 14-0 lead. We have still plenty of time, 9 minutes left in this first quarter. And it's all about staying sharp and trying to improve on things, but you also want to get out of here as healthy as possible. Coach Matt McGackey had kind of a little Cinderella middle part of last season, which was really cool for Keokuk, but now the pieces are there for maybe in a couple years making another push at this thing. This year, not that year. 2 wide receivers to the far side, a tight end, couple backs. They'll fake it to the deep back. Rolling out to the right, looking to throw a Skinner. Fires it over the middle, and he's got his man. Nice play design on a drag all the way across the field. The catch was made by Matt Wyatt, and he's got it right at the chains for 10 yards and a first down.
Well, they just flooded the right side of the field with receivers there. Keaton was out there guarding a guy, and that guy came from the back side, so they had a lot of guys up flowing this way.
It's not bad play design right there. You're running away from the pressure, too. First and 10 from their own 31, going from left to right, are the Chiefs wearing their white uniforms with purple pants. This is going to be a keeper. And again, Skinner finds some space, tries to get to the outside. That's a good tackle by Jaden Van Roekel, not letting him get outside the numbers, and he may have been off. But that's the second time the read option has found a little seam up the middle.
Yep, and our defense certainly does not look very good right now.
Again, can they stay into this game, though?
Well,
it's a mental thing.
I don't care. That's what they're going to see next week is a read option.
Yes.
80% of the time,
and
they better be able to stop that.
Skinner, just a freshman, 5'11", 165. He's got the keys to this offense, and they're going to run a little jet sweep. No, he's going to fake that too. This time he is bottled up. Van Veldhuizen, the first man in on the stop. He is helped by Kenny Satimi for a gain of a couple. And if you're Keokuk, you just want to try to move the ball across midfield. You want to score some points.
Well, you're looking for small victories, and I think offensively you've got a couple small victories here in the first quarter. I mean, they've moved the ball. So if you're a coach for Keokuk, you got to be happy about that.
Second and we'll call it 8. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Here's a snap, looking to throw. It's going to be just a little shorty. Wyatt's out there in the flat, and he'll be stopped for a loss. It's good defense. Miles, and that's going to be a flag, just driving him out of bounds, being too aggressive. Miles is out there. I think that's also Silvers. No, that's Silvers.
Oh, is it?
Yep. So those two, you gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, just
those are the
careless.
things you can't do in this game.
Well, you really can't do them next week. I mean, if you're going to pull this stuff, then you're going to be in big trouble against a good team. That's going to be a first down.
Yeah, automatic first.
Keokuk's line did a good job there, though. We didn't get any penetration up front.
The problem Keokuk has, though, is that they have one play like that, or they open a seam, and then the next play they miss Blake Van Veldhuizen completely.
Yeah. Well, that time they did a good job. Now they go empty backfield here. They are going to go empty backfield.
No, they bring a different back. Antonio Smith is now going to be the lone back along with Skinner. They just have 3 different guys that are just rotating as the back, but keeping the same guys out on the field. 3 wide to the near side, first and 10 from the Oskaloosa 43. Skinner looking to throw, looking down the field, a lot of contact and no flags, and a complete pass.
Blake Van Veldhuizen just absolutely, he was getting tackled, and no call from the back or the head referee there. He was looking right at it.
Hey, Coach, you've been in some situations where I'm sure a pitcher who was struggling in a blowout game was probably getting a little bit more of a wide strike zone. You think that might be going on a little bit tonight, giving Keokuk just a little bit of leeway on the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, you see that, at times in ball games, and yeah, it could be. I noticed the first pass that he threw was not a very good pass. It was kind of like a wounded duck, but that last pass he threw a pretty nice tight spiral right into that wind.
And the wind looks like it's really whipping down there. Our big flag is it's not straight out, but it's
close.
It's blowing pretty hard, it looks like.
Yeah, it really is. I can feel it on the side of my face hitting me coming out. It said the southeast. Pretty brisk wind right now.
A little chilly down there?
No, it's actually nice, comfortable. I think I looked 68, 70 degrees.
Nice.
So, yeah, nice night. I was going to wear shorts. Thought about it. That'd be first time I think ever I could wear shorts for all the ball games that I've done, but I passed.
Not willing to pull the trigger on that. Here's a little short throw. It's going to be caught by Martinez out in the flat, but he falls. There was a false start before that, and that's going to make it 3rd and 10 all of a sudden after a couple of incomplete pass, or an incomplete pass, a false start, and then a pass that loses another 5 yards. So there's actually going to be 3rd and 21.
Yeah, Emery, you mentioned except for last week, Keokuk has scored every week.
Not a lot of points, but they have scored.
They have scored against everybody, but they did not score last week.
5 wide, 3 to the near side. This is a 5 wide opportunity if there ever was one on 3rd and 21. Here's Skinner, stands tall in the pocket. Short throw, intercepted by Tanner DeCock. And flag is behind him. He is going to break toward the near sideline across the 30, and he is going to get past a couple of tacklers, get inside the red zone to the 18.
Well, you're going to call interference?
If he calls interference on Tanner, that's a bad call, guys.
I think there is a chance this could be an illegal block in the back right after the pick, because there was another Indian right there with the receiver.
Coach, you had a good view of that, didn't you?
Well, the replay just did, and it looked as though a clean block, and it is pass interference.
Oh my goodness.
He said he grabbed him by the jersey.
Well, let's see. If we can cue that replay up again, guys, so we can see the beginning of that play, the beginning of the interception if we have it. It'd be interesting to see, but in the piece I just watched there, didn't look like anything from our side, the camera side, and that's where the official was coming from. And Coach Jenkins, he's a nice, well-spoken guy. He's not going to – here it is. I
missed it.
It must have been very subtle, and it must have been right before the ball was thrown.
Well, I'm sorry, but this giving teams a gift.
Well, it was Miles who was running with that receiver, and that's the only thing I could think of is maybe he just had a hand on him as that ball was being thrown. Because from the angle that we have there, and thanks, guys, back downstairs in the control room, hooking us up with that replay, didn't look like much from what we were able to see there. Either way, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, but it still makes it a 3rd and 6 because of how far away they were from the first down. Not an automatic first down in high school ball. 3 wide receivers, 2 backs. Here's the snap. Skinner is going to hand it off, trying to get to the outside as Martinez. Nowhere to go.
And there's holding on Keokuk. It's blatantly obvious, and they don't call it on DJ Miles, against DJ Miles. I mean, this is, it's not 45-0 right now. It's 14-0. So call the game like it's a close game. This is starting to get me a little ticked off up here.
Oh, you'll be all right, Dougie. I know it.
Well, they're holding every play.
I sympathize with you, but I think if Oskaloosa is able to do some good things here.
Well, what do we always say? You got to adjust to the officials, umpires. Right. You just got to go play through it, and we'll be fine here.
Penalty yardage will look interesting. I don't think. Other than a false start.
Look at that.
They're going to look to throw, and nobody home. So they go for it on 4th down, and I'm just guessing they're going for it on 4th down here, Doug, mainly because they don't want to punt it to the wind. They don't feel like they can gain a whole lot of field position. Might as well give themselves a chance to make it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're not. Yeah.
If
you punt it into that wind, you're going to get about a 5-yard punt.
I was watching Blake come off, and he went to the official and said, they're wrapping their arms around.
They are too. They're literally wrapping their arms around him. I mean, I don't know. I look for Oskaloosa to air one out here. Take maybe a big shot.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, we'll see.
You
1st and 10
at your back.
From their own. Going to mark it at their own 39.
Tyler Miller in there.
4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. It's going to be a handoff to Hill up the gut. Good penetration this time, and in on the stop. A couple of Chiefs, Tristan O'Connor, and it appeared as though he was joined back there with Austin Tibbetts, one of the few seniors on the squad out there for the Chiefs.
See, that's a 1-yard gain. I mean, that to me, to get held to 1 yard is not good. Against a team like this, you need to get at least 2 or 3 yards.
You are a real coach. 4.5 to go here, first quarter. Oski up 14-0. It's going to be a jet sweep to Miller, trying to get to the outside. Second level blockers trying to get up there, but great pursuit that time by another senior, Antonio Smith, able to go from his weak side linebacker spot, and he was following him all the way across the field and made a nice open field tackle.
Yeah, nice play. I like the play offensively, getting Tyler, trying to get him in a little bit of space here. So
if that tackle's not made, he may be gone.
Brings up a 3rd and fairly long for Oskaloosa. So give Keokuk some credit tonight. They are playing hard, and they're hanging in there on defense right now in this series.
3:55 left. 3rd and 7 here from their own 42 for Oskaloosa. 4 wide receivers. The snap. Howard looking to throw for the first time. Steps up in the pocket. Throws off his back foot. And it's caught with one hand.
My.
It's caught by Jared Cruz with one hand. He stuck the left paw out there. He juggled it. And it's a touchdown for the Indians.
He just about let him too much, but the big fundamental gets his paw out there. We saw him make a one-handed interception last week, and he makes another one.
That was an awkward throw. I thought Howard was going to try to run for it because he had plenty of space, but Cruz, as you see here, kind of leaks behind the defense. You couldn't see on the replay the catch, but the important thing, the safety or the corner who was guarding him saw Howard step up, bit. Cruz kept running his route, was wide open, and then just stuck that left hand out there, kind of bounced off it a little bit, was able to reel her in, and Blom's extra point is good. 3:40 to go first quarter. Oski has a 21-0 lead. We are going to take a quick break, come back with the kickoff right after this. Nice start for the Indians on the No Coast Network.
For years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Oskaloosa 21, Keokuk nothing. We expected Oskaloosa to be a big favorite in this game, expected them to come out and execute, but they look strong here in this first quarter. 3:40 left still in the first quarter, and a 21-0 lead as Blom set to kick off with a nice wind at his back. Coach, you got a different angle from that catch from what we saw, but obviously the respect that they have for Howard's running ability set him to be open in another huge play for the Indians.
Yeah, I just able to see the big hand go up, and just kind of boom, there it was. Looked like one of Odell's catches.
Odell's a monster. I will say that as another touchback here for Blom. When you have a guy like Cruz that's kind of been added to the mix, because he missed 3 or 4 games offensively. He just played defense for a couple of weeks as he was trying to get healthy again. It's so important to have a tall target like that because Cole Henry looks every bit the part of a potential #1 wide receiver, but you need a tall guy to kind of take some safety help away from that side of the field so you can at least have one guy that would be open, and that's what happened there on man coverage. The man who was guarding Cruz just kind of got lost because Howard was scrambling in the pocket.
Yeah, Keokuk going with the empty backfield here again.
A tight end and 4 wide receivers. They send a man in motion. Here's the snap. It's a read option. Quarterback Skinner keeps it. This time he gets maybe 2. And Oskaloosa has made a nice adjustment to that play, at least filling the gap from the second level.
Yeah, they're going to have to be able to stop the run inside the tackles or right over the tackles because Washington next week is going to wear them out in those areas.
Dykstra was the man who eventually would bring the man down. 2nd and 8 from their own 22. 2 backs, a couple wide receivers to the near side and a tight end to the far side. Snap, this is just a traditional handoff to the deep back out of that pistol, and looks like Martinez was the back, and he gained nothing. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Good job there by the defense, getting a little penetration. Hold them to little or no gain, brings up a 3rd down and 8 for Keokuk. So Oskaloosa gets another hold here. They'll have to kick into a stiff wind. Oskaloosa probably starting Keokuk territory.
Look at this formation. They got 4 wide on this near side and 1 to the far side.
Kind of fun to watch, all these different formations.
Empty set, 3rd and 8 from their own 22. They do send Martinez in motion. Here's the snap. Skinner looking to throw. 4-man rush. He's under pressure. Fires it out into the flat. It was a nice throw, but a good job by Silvers. Last second, turned his head around, put his hand up, and knocked it away because it was a nice back shoulder throw into the wind. Would have been a completion, but Silvers, he has really stepped up the last few weeks.
Yeah, another good job by Calvin. Had him covered up the left sideline there. And you're right, Emery. He got his head around just in time. I didn't think he was going to get his head around. You need to realize as a defensive back how strong the wind is.
Yes.
And the quarterback's not. So you start looking a little bit earlier tonight.
They got the punter back. This is jamming close, averaging about 35 yards a punt. May not get that this side of the field. He's angling away. Wind's going to kill that high punt, and it's going to go out of bounds.
That's at the 35-yard line.
35-ish. We'll see what the officials mark. And there's actually going to be the 33-yard line, and that's where Oskaloosa is going to take over, leading 21-0. 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the first quarter. Running clock, if Oski does get to 35 or more, would not come into effect until the second half. So still some work to do. Henry, Chapman, DeCock, Miller out there as wide receivers. Hill is the back. Howard on 1st and 10 from the Keokuk 33 after the short 11-yard punt.
They got Tyler split wide left here. a little bit different formation. Oh, you got Cole Henry out there one-on-one on the
Well, they
island.
got one safety, and he can only pick one side of the
and
field.
He's moving over this way.
Yeah, you got one-on-one with Henry. They're looking that way. Howard now looks to his left. He will pull it, and he's got plenty of space to run. He's inside the 30, and he's going to get to the 25 before slowing down and take some contact. In this game, if you're Seth Howard, if you run into a wall, how about you just take a slide, fall over, don't take a big hit, and risk being out for next week's huge game.
Yeah, I'd love us to be able to check out of whatever play is called and go, say, some type of check to Henry. We got one-on-one over there.
Anthony Potratz is the guy that is still in one-on-one with Henry on the far side on 2nd and 1. He is 6'2".
Oh, he's good size.
Yeah, it's not a terrible matchup for Keokuk. Howard again looking to throw. He's going to throw that direction. High jump ball, and Potratz does enough to put the ball down on the ground in completion. Good coverage there.
Good job by the defender there for Keokuk. Seth tried to go to Henry.
Anthony Potratz.
Little post route there, and good defensive play.
With this wind, even with the wind at your back, it's going to kind of sail on you a little bit.
Well, and
hey, here's a change, guys. Got Blake Van Veldhuizen hiking the ball center.
Interesting. Howard on 3rd and 1. Want to get this first down. It's just going to be a QB run up the middle, and he's got space. Tries to make one man miss. He does. Gets away from another, and he's into the end zone. What a run by Howard. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the night.
I think that was right over Blake.
Yeah, it was.
Well, and there were a couple of chances Keokuk had to bring him down, but just couldn't do it.
But it wasn't right where Blake was at.
No.
It was farther down the field.
No.
Good call down there, Coach. Yeah, there's one missed tackle.
That one right there, that's a huge
Number
miss.
7 was not real aggressive.
That was Potratz. He says, just keep throwing it my direction.
Yeah.
I'll knock it down. The guy who really missed the tackle, though, was our mystery man, number 5, who's not on the roster they gave me. Either way, the extra point is on the way and good from Blom. And just like that, 28-0 Oskaloosa with 91 seconds left still in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and have the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things. Dew, juice, and caffeine rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption. Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart. Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now. Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful. Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors, mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
28-0 Oskaloosa. Coach is down on the field. He's feeling what's going on down there. Doug, you're up here in the box. I think we're all thinking the same thing. What can possibly be improved tonight now for the next 3 quarters to get you ready for the biggest game of the year next week?
Well, we just talked about it a little bit. It's going to be tough now. I think you're going to see the reserves, your backups getting in there, and hopefully they get some good, valuable time tonight.
Blom through the end zone.
But now you worry about being a little rusty next week coming out because, last week you had a blowout. You got a blowout already here in the first quarter.
28-0, still 1:31 left first quarter.
They don't hit a lot. I mean, just that's the way high schools do it now. There's not a lot of hitting during the week. So one good thing is you got guys getting healthy. We'll go into next week, about as healthy as we've been all year.
Yeah, barring anything happening for the rest of this game. 2 wide to the far side, 2 backs. He'll snap. It's going to be a handoff to the deep man, Martinez, and he breaks through a couple of tackles and gets about 6. And that is actually not Martinez. My mistake. That's Antonio Smith, one of the seniors. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds.
Guys, I'm standing down here and listening to you talk about that, and I think this is as a coach, and what you start doing, you start playing the mental game with them. Believing that we've now in our 7th week, 8th week of the season, the reps that we've done, we know what we're supposed to do, and just a matter of believing that you can go out there and beat Washington next week.
Coach, I couldn't say it better. As Satimi blasts into the backfield, loss of 1 on the handoff. Looked like that was Smith again on the carry, and it's just plugging gaps for that defensive line. It's staying healthy. It's trying to accomplish things. Maybe get yourself a little bit of momentum for some of these other guys. You see out there, instead of Silvers out at corner, they have Zuhair Mimoun, who's getting some much needed reps at corner just in case you need him later, even though Silvers has been fantastic at corner the last few weeks.
Well, and I like to see that. Zuhair is probably going to be a little bit better run stopper
Right, as here's a rollout to the near side. Skinner looking down the field, nowhere to go. Cruz misses the tackle, though, and it'll take Keaton DeCock pushing him out of bounds, shy of the first down by a couple of yards. It'll be 4th and 2 or 3, and if Keokuk, you probably go for it here, right?
If you're Oski, you call timeout.
Make him punt it.
Make him punt it in the wind. Unless you want to get some offensive plays in, which...
Yeah, or maybe you just want it. I don't know. They're going to wind the clock. You think they might wind the clock?
Well, he ran out of bounds.
Yeah, he ran out of bounds.
Yeah, but I don't know how the high school rules work, I guess. I thought I did, but if it wasn't running before the snap, then I guess I don't know.
Good kick.
Much better kick into the wind. This is going to cross midfield and stop at about the 48-yard line and go out of bounds. Oski will have one play with 6 seconds to go here in the first quarter. But in the college game and in the pros, it's not until the last 5 minutes of each half do they actually keep the clock stopped after you run out of bounds.
So I've always tried to figure that out. If
it's the
you're
last
somebody
5
that
minutes,
wagers on games a little bit, you can do this thing called over-unders, and you watch that stuff when the ball goes out of bounds. You're like, what in the world's the clock running for?
Yeah.
Every second counts in those games.
Hey, did you watch that?
The ending
Monday,
of the Chiefs game
Monday
was
night
unbelievable.
Game, scoring a meaningless touchdown to put them over the spread.
And covered the spread and went over the over-under.
Unbelievable. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the far side for Oskaloosa. Howard looking to throw on first down, a full all-out blitz. This is going to be thrown. Chapman makes the catch inside the 25, inside the 15-yard line out of the 10, and that's going to end the first quarter. The defensive back, Eddie Lee, I think, saw that in the air, and then the ball just kept carrying over his head. Chapman made a nice catch with his hands, and Oski will have it inside their red zone as we'll switch sides to the other side of the field. The Indians looking strong after 1 quarter of play. It's 28-0 Oskaloosa after 1 quarter. We'll be back with the second after a short break on the No Coast Network.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's, get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners, cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture, and find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Mir and Cheeto or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
MCG's new gigabit internet is here, and it's a real gig deal!
Connect all your devices, download an HD movie in 7 seconds.
Get unlimited use, no limits, no data caps, and no slowdown.
And stream a video with no buffering, ever.
Work, play, create, innovate with MCG internet.
Call to get your upgrade free for 30 days.
Buffering video, spinning wheels are over!
You deserve the best, and MCG delivers.
28-0 Oskaloosa, the lead. We are at the top of the 8 o'clock hour and the start of the second quarter. 4 wide receivers. Seth Howard takes the snap, looking for Henry on a fade. Over the top.
Good defense.
Again, that's Martinez, and that is a small guy. That is a sophomore.
5'7"?
5'7", 125. And he's able to jump up there and knock it down.
A little guy going up there.
I'm surprised they haven't switched sides. I mean, Oskaloosa made the adjustment and not keep putting Henry on the opposite side of the foot.
They just did.
Yeah, they did switch a guy over there. That's actually, it looks like Skinner, the quarterback. 5'11" over there now. Here's the snap. Howard looking to throw on 2nd and 10. He's going to throw it. It's tipped, and that's a good play again by Martinez, jumping the route and knocking it out.
Yeah, good play.
He's 5'7", but he's getting some good reads.
You know, we haven't had a lot of pass plays over the center of the middle of the field this year, it seems like. Everything's
going to the
kind
outside,
of been on the edges. So
it's worked for the most part.
Yeah, but, you know, when you get in big ball games, you got to be able to expose them over the middle, too.
Oski comes with a little bunch to this near side. 1 wide receiver to the far side is Henry, and it is, I believe, jamming close, not Skinner, the quarterback, but close.
You know, you're going to have a quarterback keeper or a run up the middle here, probably.
It's just 3rd and 10 from the 13 as a rollout to the near side. Howard looking to throw, and now he's going to tuck it and run. He's inside the 10, inside the 5. Good block down the field by Tanner DeCock, and he's into the end zone. Another touchdown. That's a 4th rushing touchdown for Seth Howard here in the first half. And with 11:41 to go in the second quarter, it was just a stretch play for the quarterback pretty much.
Yeah, he rolled right, and he actually had Tanner open, but Tanner probably would not have been able to get in the end zone, so he took off running, and Tanner laid a nice block for him to.
That was the only one he needed.
Yeah, it's the only one he needed.
Blom to kick the extra point. It's on the way, and into the wind is good. 35-0, Oskaloosa the lead, 11:41 to go here in the first half. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Beers and Bigs, tasty food, great beer, and a good cause. You're invited to a fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Mahaska County on Saturday, October 7th. Enjoy 4 delicious courses expertly prepared by On the Green. Each course comes paired with the bold flavor of a local no-coast brew. Beers and Bigs, happy hour starts at 6 p.m. Dinner served at 7. Call for reservations for Saturday, October 7th, and help us start a Big Brothers Big Sisters in Mahaska County.
35-0, Oskaloosa the lead. If you're listening to us live on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN, we appreciate it. If you're watching us, we appreciate you too on RadioKMZN.com as well as MCG Channel 7 in Oskaloosa. Oskaloosa themselves on the football field doing some work. 35-0 and 4 rushing touchdowns already in the game for Seth Howard and a long passing touchdown to Jared Cruz, who made a one-handed catch down the field. Keokuk, they were up against it from the start, and we'll just see how long Oskaloosa kind of keeps the dogs on them. As Blom to kick off. I don't know if a touchback's happening on this side of the field, though. He's going to boot it away. This one is going to be a shorter kick, and it is going to be received at the 20-yard line. And nice hitting down there in coverage. Jaden Van Rukel down there along with Coy Snakenberg. Only a gain of about 20 or 6 or 7 yard line. 6 or 7 yards to the 27-yard line for the return man. That's
Jaden hurt himself a little bit there. I don't know if they know it down there, but Jaden's, his left side, it's his arm or shoulder or something. Coach, can you see if you can see anything there? He looked like he dinged himself a little bit on that hit.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him down here, guys.
2 wide receivers on the far side. It's going to be a pitch to that edge to Martinez, and good pursuit to the ball. It was a good job just making him stretch out by DeYoung on that far side, and then Tanner DeCock with his speed, lateral speed, to just pursue him with no blockers in front of him and able to make the tackle for no gain.
Looks like Jaden's kind of got through it now.
Yeah, she's kind of shaking it off a little bit. Looks pretty good now.
Well, remember, it wasn't all that long ago, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, that he was not at 100% playing back there at safety. 4 wide, 2 to each side. They do have an H back there as well. An empty look coming across as Martinez, and they'll fake the handoff to him, and he'll be stuffed. Dykstra, Van Veldhuizen in on the stop. Good penetration by the front 4. And it's going to be a loss of 3. 3rd and 13 coming from Keokuk's own 25-yard line. Oski leading 35-0, 10:47 and counting to go here in this second quarter.
Looked to me like if they would have handed the ball off there, they had some room over here on the left side. So Oskaloosa catches a little bit of break there. Nick's got to make sure that he doesn't crash down too hard too early.
I believe Tyjay Mueller, the backup quarterback, is wearing that number 5. They have him as number 6 on the roster. A little flats throw, nothing there to Young. Wraps up nicely, no gain on the play, as they found Protrats out there in the flat, and that'll bring up a 4th and 13.
Well, look out for Mr. Miller here.
Well, he's going to get some space if this is a good punt.
Yeah, he could do some damage. If he can catch one here, he'll have some space.
Jamin Close standing at his own 11-yard line. Miller standing at his own 35. Went at the back of the punter, and he will put it in the air, angling toward the sideline. Miller will not get a chance to receive it as it's out of bounds. Every time he's punted, Doug, he is aimed away from Tyler Miller, and he's done so effectively.
Yeah, that was a nice punt. Nice job right there. Oskaloosa does the same thing with Jaden Van Rukel.
Yeah, and the ball is spotted at their own 43-yard line. Coach, you're down there. Energy level, is there still a good energy level about this team now, knowing they're up 35-0 still with 10 minutes left in this second quarter?
Well, not as much as we saw in that first quarter, guys, where we got those first 3 touchdowns or so. But, I mean, let's see what we do this possession here with 9:39 to go here in the second quarter.
Well, Cole Henry's going to play quarterback for a while, and you would expect to see more positions kind of adjust as Henry takes a snap looking to throw. The lefty fires a little high. Chapman somehow nearly reeled that in with one hand. Maybe if it's dry, he might pull that down. That literally would have been an Odell catch.
Yeah, and that ball probably sailed on him, throwing right into the wind there.
Yeah, it's really whipping up down here, guys. Just look at the flag.
You got to really drive it down with your, to your front foot and drive the ball in there, they call that.
4 wide. The snap is a low one, and Henry's just going to run with it. He's going to be across midfield. He's got some more space. He's going to get inside the 45, down to the 44, pick up a 13, and he'll move the chains. 1st and 10 Indians.
Nice run by Cole Henry there. He's been effective as a runner after catches this year. He even though he's 6'7", 6'8", he's still a very, very good runner. He's a tough runner.
They're going to empty the set out with 3 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side on 1st and 10. Henry hasn't gotten a lot of time to play at the varsity level this season. Howard been the starter. He's been at wide receiver, but now he's going to get to open the playbook up with him a little bit for a while. Here's a nice little in the flat, little out route from Hill. He's got the catch, and he's going to be brought down by Mueller at about the 29-yard line, and another pickup of 15, and that's just a good play design. Clear everybody out, and then the little underneath out route is wide open.
Yeah, and a nice touch on the pass there. He didn't throw a rocket. He let him. Nice, easy ball to catch, and good play for Oskaloosa there. I really like seeing Cole in there getting a good, well, they'll probably bring Aaron Blom in for maybe the 4th quarter, but
yeah,
you got to like seeing Cole getting a good quarter and a half, 2 quarters in here.
He has an empty set again, 3 wide to the far side this time. He's looking that way, and he's got a little slant with Cruz. He makes the catch, and he's right at the sticks, close on the stop. And it's going to be about 11 yards and move the chains. It's timing routes now, and that's what gets you in a rhythm.
Yeah, and Cole's good. He's good at it. He's got a big advantage. He can stand in there, and at his height and just pitch and catch over the middle. You can see him attack the middle with much more consistency now.
Fresquez is into the game. He's on the near side with Miller and Hill on the slot. It's Tanner DeCock and Cruz out to the far side. And a double clutch throwing to the end zone, wide open, and making the catch is Hill for a touchdown.
Catch. The wind held that thing up.
There were three Indians and only 2 white jerseys in the area. Henry clutched the first time and then threw it. He saw his man there. It looked like he might have overshot him, but like you said, the wind kind of knocked that one down and kept it in there. As you see on the replay, he saw it immediately, but then held in there, threw it up, and it was caught by Hill. Miller wasn't even looking at it, but you can see Mueller over there just kind of like, where is the help? I can't be on both of these guys.
It was a nice catch by Casey Hill. That was not an easy catch.
Yeah, and the extra point good from Blom. 42-0, 8:06 to go. We'll take another quick break. Oskaloosa rolling here on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
42-0 Oskaloosa over Keokuk. Still 8:06 to go in the second quarter. Coach, you were down on the sideline. You were able to get a clear look at that play. Did the wind just stop that ball?
Yeah, just like I think Doug said up there, man, the wind got a hold of that ball and all of a sudden started flopping around. And, yeah, great adjustment by Casey in the end zone. Good rush. Cole helped as long as he could, then he just kind of put her up. And, yeah, great throw, just to get rid of it. I get sacked, and then, of course, Casey.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Henry. He is a physical player. As Blom is ready to kick off, he did take a hit at the end of that play, but was still able to deliver a fairly nice ball. Is this going to be a bouncer received to the this looks like Mueller again, and he's going to fall forward and get to about the 29. It's actually Sean Young who was returning that one.
So now we're starting to sprinkle in some reserves. It looks like our defensive line is going to be all new players. Brooke Lander.
Got Riley Miller in there.
Riley Miller.
Shane Hoven.
Yeah, we're starting to get some different guys in there.
Got Alex Labrecht.
Alex Labrecht. Zuhair is in at a corner, so.
Still some starters out there, though. And in the pistol, 2 wide to the far side, 2 backs. Mueller takes a snap, and he's looking to throw. Rolling to his right, fires it down the field, and nothing there. Good double coverage on the wide receiver. There's really only the one read on a little flag route, and Oskaloosa with a corner underneath, the safety over the top. There's not a whole lot to worry about there. As coming into the game to play some defense is Tyler McGuire, as he'll replace Zuhair, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I think Shane Hoven's hosting a lot of guys tomorrow for a little paintball action out at his place. They're all looking forward to that.
Sounds interesting. Not much into that scene, so I wouldn't know. 42-0, Oskaloosa the lead. This little speed option. They're going to flip it out to Martinez. McGuire doesn't take a very good angle on it. Martinez is going to get speared at the sideline by Van Rukel. A pickup of 16 yards to the 45. And he's got some pretty good feet on him, Martinez does. You wonder why they haven't tried to get him in space a little bit more. The only time he's touched the ball is up the middle.
Well, and I'm not sure whose coverage that is out there. Nick's been cracking down, and I mentioned it on the one play they didn't give it to him. I'm not sure if that's his guy. He's not getting deep enough.
Either that or it might have been McGuire just entered the game, and it might have been a little confusion. Here's a roll out to the far side, trying to dump it off. This is off the hands and short. As again, I like the play design. Leaking out of the fullback spot was Antonio Smith, and he had a step on his man on that far side, but the pass just a little too high. Couldn't quite reel her in.
Yeah, looking down our sideline, guys here. Hey, it's great to see Darren Dykstra back on the sidelines with our coaching staff. He had a little health issue, and back tonight here on the sidelines coaching for the Indians.
Yeah, I talked to him before the game. He said he's feeling good, and you're right. A good point there. It is nice to see Double D back there on the sidelines. He brings a lot of energy to our team.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the far side. 2nd and 10 from their own 45 for the Chiefs. Mueller rolls to his right. He's got plenty of time. Now he's going to run, and Shane Hoven trips him up. He's eventually finished off by DJ Miles, a gain of about 3. That's good close speed there from Miles and Hoven to make sure that, because he ran immediately, he may have gained 6 or 7 yards instead of the 3 he got.
Yeah, we're a little bit loose out there on the edge, though. Not sure what's going on. They're running everybody off. Either our ends need to get a little bit deeper or something, but we're not. It looks like we're kind of getting collapsed in on the ends.
4 wide receivers again are going to be split out to this near side, 1 to the far side. Not something you see every day. 3rd and about 7 from the 48-yard line. Mueller takes a snap, and he's looking to throw. He's under pressure, fires over the middle, tipped. Good defense. Again, a double team because they kind of know where they're throwing the football, and it was close from that far side. He was all by himself and coming across the field, trying to get eyeballs away from him. Oskaloosa not biting, and it's going to be 4th and 7 in a likely punt situation here with close, with the wind at his back. 42-0 Oskaloosa the lead, and if you're an Indian supporter, this is great to see. It's just a matter of staying healthy, getting out of here, and feeling like you accomplished something in terms of improvement. There are some substitutions happening, so you'd think this is a punt situation, and Close now will drop back, standing at his own 35-yard line.
I don't know why.
He's going to take the snap, and he's going to put this one high in the air.
Go.
And that's going to be beyond Miller and roll through the end zone. Hey, that's going to look good on the stat sheet, a 52-yard punt.
Yeah, and that one was in the air a long ways.
Yeah, he probably got 50 in the air with the wind at his back. So, Coach, you're down there on the sideline, and I've been asking you about the atmosphere, the weather, what's going on here. But if you're coaching, you've coached in situations like this, your girls go up big early. What are things that you're hoping the Indians are looking at and trying to accomplish here, up 6 touchdowns with still 2.5 quarters left to play?
Well, I think, again, we'll see what happens at halftime. We come out, start that second half because we got the ball to start the game. But, yeah, this is where a situation where you'd like to have them keep playing. You want them to keep playing hard. But as a coach, it's hard to keep them in that mental frame that, yeah, we're up 42-0. It could be even more here before the half to want to go out and just, keep pounding it at them.
Here is Miller. He breaks the first couple of tackles and makes a nice little jump cut. He's trying to get away from that last guy, but it does gate 10 yards and a first down. That was a nice job on the tackle by Tristan O'Connor, a freshman. Just kind of with one hand grabbed onto his jersey and pulled him back to him.
Well, and I think one thing about a game like this, and this is why Pella and the Solons and some of these teams are good year in and year out, is they get their reserves at least a good quarter of play in. And that's good experience for some of these guys.
We saw the replay. Antonio Smith was actually the man who grabbed him by the side of the shirt, and he's going to get it again, trying to go off left guard this time. Good job reading that and making the tackle by Matt Wyatt. And it'll be no gain really on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up for Oskaloosa at their own 32. The receivers on the near side is Fresquez and Dylan Van Leuven. On the far side, they have Dykstra in the slot, and it looks as though they have Cody Gunn out there wide with Henry, the quarterback, and Tyler Miller, the running back. So that is a different group of receivers. High snap. Henry's got to go back and retrieve it. He'll pick it up, and he's going to be looking to try to make a play out of it. He's going to throw it, and it's nearly picked and then almost caught by Dykstra.
That's a big break, though.
Yeah, and in a 42-0 game, I don't think Henry's going to be told too much about that. In a close game, though, just following the football.
Well, the snap wasn't that bad. I don't.
Maybe he wasn't ready?
Hunter puts some pretty good sauce on it when he's snapping it back there.
Yeah, when Noah was doing it, it had a little arc to it.
Yeah, I think Cole just was a little bit lax there, getting ready for the ball.
3rd and 10. Henry steps into a throw and fires over the middle, nothing there. And with 5:25 to go in this second quarter, Oskaloosa, for the first time in the game, will have a 4th down situation. So the fumble snap helped make that happen. And it'll be Jaden Van Rukel punting into the wind. I don't think Oskaloosa, execution-wise, will look at that drive as a success. When you're up 6 touchdowns, you're going to kind of do some different things with some different personnel, and that's kind of what we're seeing.
And
they don't have enough players on the field. They're missing 2 players right now.
And this is like when a coach gets a little frustrated, you know, and you start getting a little sloppy, even though you're up 42-0.
They still a short one player.
No, they're good.
They are?
Yep.
2, 4, 5, 6. They got 10 players. Oh, I didn't see the one all the way over there.
Here's an angled punt from Van Rukel. You called it, Doug. He was going to angle as well, and he is able to get it out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 47-yard line in Oskaloosa territory where the Chiefs will take over. But, Coach, you were about to say something before that play. That drive, you talked about frustration. How frustrated will the coaching staff get with 3 and out in that situation?
Well, not necessarily 3 and out, but, you know, then we didn't have a guy on the field for the punt and things like that where you're not in the game now. And that's where you want to stay sharp. And as, you know, Doug had mentioned earlier, you know, that's maybe like where your Pella and your Solons, you know, that they stay on it, you know, all the time. So a situation where we just gotta stay in this game now and keep battling. It's even though the game's out of control already, we just got to keep playing.
Ty Mueller, sophomore, taking the snaps, handoff to Martinez up the middle, gain of a couple. They're still sticking to their guns. They're trying to do different things. Is checking in for Oskaloosa is Hunter Mason along the line as Dykstra will now come out. Silvers is back out there at a corner along with Van Rukel at safety, DeYoung Slap at another corner.
A couple of new linebackers in there too, don't we, guys?
Yeah, Newman's in there for the first time.
They've rolled Keaton up to...
He's playing much more of a traditional linebacker spot right now, is Keaton. Here's the snap. Mueller again is going to hand it off, and Martinez again is going to try the A-gap. Not much there again. This one's going to be actually no gain on the play. Multiple Indians on the stop. Looked like the first man in there was Tyson Brooklander. He'll come off the field. So now 3rd and 7 for Keokuk from the Oskaloosa 44.
And this is good also. I'm not sure if the JV has a game this week.
They didn't have a freshman game before this.
Yeah, and I don't think that they don't play Keokuk. I know that.
Right.
In JV, so get some guys some good work tonight.
Mueller drops back, looking to throw over the middle, and he had Wyatt for a moment, but a big hit. And that was Keaton.
Oh, nice play by Keaton there to knock it away.
Making a big hit at the point of the catch, and that makes it an incomplete pass. 4th and 7 coming up, and it doesn't make much sense to go for it if you're Keokuk down 6 touchdowns, but you never know.
Pretty nice ball he thrown over the middle there. It looked like he was going to make the play.
Too. Yeah. You're looking for anything positive if you're Keokuk at this point, down 42-0 with 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Miller back to receive, close. We'll try to pooch it and angle it.
Brant.
And then it's going to be a flag. Running into the kicker would be 5. Roughing the kicker would be a 15 and a first down.
Might be a 15. He had his leg up in the air when he went through him.
It's just the 5-yard variety.
Okay.
So that would.
They should go for it now. It's only going to be 4th and short.
Right, and the punt angle only went out at the 22-yard line. They're trying different things with close, with the angle, and some of them have been good, but he kicked it through the end zone the last time, overcorrected this time, and he's trying to get it inside the 20-yard line. He didn't accomplish that, so at least you'll have a re-punt. Or maybe
go for it, I would think.
I'd go for it here, yep.
Well, Close is still looking as if he's going to punt this.
Well, they bring Big Biscuit in. We got Big Biscuit coming in, so we got a little beef over there.
And Keokuk, they're just going to call timeout. They're probably going to go for it out of this timeout. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. 42-0 Oskaloosa. 4th down coming up for Keokuk when we return here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Oskaloosa will look for a defensive stop on what will be 4th and 2. We expect Keokuk to go for it here after calling a timeout. And there's still about 4 minutes left here in this second quarter. The clock currently showing the time left on the timeout. And indeed, the offense is out there. They'll have a couple of wide receivers to the far side, 2 backs, and Ty Mueller, is your quarterback.
Try to get to the edge here. Run right.
The pistol.
Oh, Blake.
And Big Biscuit coming right through the line of scrimmage. Maybe he just wants more defensive reps.
Well, 2 penalties gives Keokuk a 1st down there.
And that will put it at the 34-yard line. So it was a running into the kicker on the punt, and then an offsides unevaded to the cornerback for the left end. Blake Van Veldhuizen 1st and 10 now for the Chiefs. 3 wide to the near side. Here's the snap. Mueller looking to throw. He's going to step into one, looking to that far
Alex.
side.
Yes, there it is. He ties the school record with that one.
And he's looking to the far side. He's got a blocker. He's across the 35. And
oh, no.
Turns it up. Stays it down.
No flags. Sparky's going to do it.
All the way. Touchdown. Alex DeYoung on the pick 6.
You could see the ball float. I saw him honing in on it, and he takes it to the house, which he's been excellent at doing. What a way to tie the school record. Congratulations, Alex DeYoung.
And that's going to be about a 90-yard return, as you see on the replay. He just had the positioning on Close, who couldn't break it up, and then the speed. He had a great block by Miller there to keep Mueller out of the play. Riley Miller, the block on Mueller. That might have been actually Walker Newman. Couldn't quite see the number, but what a fantastic job by the Oskaloosa, now tied all-time leader in interceptions.
Wow. Yeah, good job, Alex. We got a couple games left, so he's now tied.
3:29 to go. The extra point from Blom is good. It's 49-0 Oskaloosa, and the route is on. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Three minutes, 29 seconds left in just the second quarter, and Oskaloosa's already put up 7 scores. The offense did 6 of them, 4 of them rushing touchdowns by Seth Howard. Now, a 90-yard touchdown on a interception return by Sparky. Alex DeYoung, he has tied the career interception record for Oskaloosa, having a couple of huge years here, last year and this year. They keep picking on him. That throw just kind of fluttered, hung up in the air. He was able to make a play on it and take it all the way back the other way for a big-time interception return for a touchdown. The extra point from Blom, 49-0, and it keeps getting worse.
Yeah, I'm going to check in here and see interception returns.
You keep doing that. He's got the record book to double check on some things. It's going to be a high kick in the air, a short kick. It'll bounce.
Whoop.
Martinez
Whoa.
slips, picks it up at the 2-yard line, and he's got nowhere to go, but a flag's going to come down as well. And this is likely going to give Keokuk the ball inside their own 10-yard line if the penalty will go half the distance to the goal. Those pink flags.
Those are kind of cool.
Hard to see sometimes, though. It looks like, yeah, we definitely got a block in the back on Cade Snakenberg on the point of the tackle. So it'll be half the distance from there.
So Alex has just tied Rick Quarton with 13 interceptions for a career, and Rick did that in 1962 to 1964. So
it's been around a while.
That record has been around for a long time. So congratulations. Is yards returned with an interception, most yards returned with an interception in one game.
We had 90 on that one.
Did they give him 90? That would be second in the record book behind the speedster Doug DeCock with 97-yard return.
Don't believe it. Mueller, a good read option. He's got some space to the outside. And
Everybody's calling for holds up here.
Mamoon able to make the come off the hold and make the tackle. Van Rukel helped in on the play, and also out there was Owen Gordon helping make the stop.
Now, if Alex would have, this is most yards returned with an interception in one game. If he should happen to get another interception and get 7 yards or more,
and he's got that one
he
too.
would be number one.
How long is he going to be out there, though, is the question. Right?
Well, I think they need to sit him the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think so
I
too.
mean,
he's not out there now, so.
I don't mean to want my record to be, I mean, I'm not like that. Well, yeah, actually I am. I do want to keep that up there.
Timeout, Keokuk. And we'll go ahead and just keep it here. We're taking a lot of breaks, so I'm making an executive decision. We're not taking a break. So how did your 97-yard interception return go?
Well, we were playing Centerville, and
when was this? 1951?
This was in 1983. It was homecoming, actually, and they were driving, and I got it deep in our territory, and I don't think I really even had to make anybody miss. It was kind of a flat route out in the flats, and I
just jumped it,
cut in front of it, and off to the races.
You had nothing but green in front of you?
Yep. Back in the day when I could actually move a little bit.
I still don't believe that.
So
I think it's a conspiracy.
We won that game 64-6 on, I think, I'm pretty sure that was homecoming.
It's looking like it might be close to that again, that kind of score. In one of these games, 49-0, 2:39 to go after Keokuk called a timeout at 2nd and 4. Got a little misdirection going on here. Martinez to the far side, Miles running with him, and he's going to be able to make the stop along with Van Rukel.
Yeah, I'd like to thank one of, I got a text message here that our JV plays at Pella Christian on Monday. So
Pella Christian's varsity is surprising.
And I went to the JV game last year against Pella Christian, and I was really impressed with what I saw. Our JV team was tough last year, and Pella Christian stuck right with us.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out is they lose Kakmarinsky, they lose Jungling, and you're just wondering how good they possibly could be, and they may be better this year.
They might. I think they've got more players. They're a good football team. They got a big game tonight against Pleasantville.
Flag, false start on Keokuk. It'll make it a 3rd and 6 here from about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and that game started early, too. They moved that game up.
That game might be over by now. I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
I picked Pleasantville. I thought Pleasantville on paper, and they were the host team. I just liked them an awful lot.
Yeah, what was that? Ranked 5th and 7th going at each other?
5th and 7th, that's right, Coach.
5th and 7th. No, actually.
See if we can get it.
Maybe in the register in the Radio Iowa poll, Pella Christian's 2 and Pleasantville's 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I also got a message here that Pella is only up 28-21.
Here's a little run option, and that's going to be a first down on a pickup of about 8 here from Mueller, who looked to pass, but he had a run pass option and just ran it for the first down.
Not sure who they're playing
tonight. Pella's at that's Norwalk.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one test they have left of the regular season.
So the Norwalk Carlisle winner, that's going to be a huge game. That's like our Washington Oskaloosa
that's the
in our
spot.
district. Yep, that's for number 2.
Also, did you hear about what happened with Iowa State?
Yeah, I heard their quarterback didn't make the trip.
Jacob Park didn't travel with the Cyclones, and the team didn't say why.
No, they've been mum on that. I was listening to Sports Talk out of Des Moines today, and nobody could find out why. But we now have a final on that Pella game, 28-21.
Here, look at Mueller. What a great run by Ty-J Mueller.
Yeah, we had him there for a no gain or a loss, and somehow
he just danced around for 7 yards.
Well, don't you think the Iowa State deal was over the sidelines between Campbell and...
Well, and he looked horrible last week.
Right.
I mean, he looked absolutely horrible in front of a national television audience.
Yeah, but you'd still take him on the trip.
Well, he has had some problems before. That's a 5-star recruit that couldn't. This is his third school.
There was a blow up on the sidelines or something?
Yeah, last week Campbell shoulder bumped him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they kind of
Had
exchanged
some
words. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. And whistles.
Yeah, it's kind of easy.
Play of game.
It's easy when things are going good, but all of a sudden things get a little bit rough. You find out the true character of some people, and you know, he's had an excellent first 3 games, and it's been struggle city since then.
Pella Christian, it looks like that game is potentially a final. At least it's late in the 4th quarter. Pella Christian 17, Pleasantville 14.
Wow, what a game! I got 7 minutes left in that. Vaughn Blythe sending me that update. Appreciate that.
Little flat throw, and Wyatt drops it, and then is hit and knocked down by Newman. So it'll be 3rd and about 8. So great run by Mueller. Then the penalty sets up with the incompletion here, a situation where it's 3rd and 8 again, as this game is now inside of a minute. 30 seconds actually on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Oski leading 49-0. That Iowa State thing is interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
That is going to be a
story.
So
is Lanning going to play both ways?
No.
Probably, what's his name? Zeb Nolan, the one they had, didn't they?
Nolan's the guy I think they're going to start, but they haven't named a starter yet. As here's a little run off left tackle for Smith, and he gets to the 25. That'll bring up 4th and 4 here. Yeah, they have 2 guys that could start that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, excellent job there by Zuhair Mamoon on shedding the blocker and getting in on the play there. For those of you, there is a lot of baseball today who are baseball fans. Earlier,
it's halftime, by the way. For our radio audience, I need to say that it is halftime, 49-0. But what do we got for baseball right now?
Baseball right now. Earlier today, Houston defeated Boston 8-2. The Astros lead 2-0 in the series. Currently a dandy in Cleveland. The Yankees and the Tribe are tied at 8 in the top of the 11th with 2 outs. The Cubbies lead Washington 2-0 in the top of the 7th. And later tonight, Arizona and the Dodgers.
Let's go ahead and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's go down to the field and down to the track for another giveaway.
We want to thank you all for coming out and sharing our excitement of presenting Mr. Parker with a $1,000 check here this evening for the Oskaloosa Community Schools. In addition to that, our sports editor, Jim Grease, is going to draw a ticket from the raffle tickets you got as you came in the front gate. And we'll have a couple of minutes for that winner to come down and claim their prize. We've got an iPad mini and an Oski Gear goodie bag. Got it? That one? Let me read it to you. Our winning ticket numbers 352-3346. We'll read that again here, and like I said, we'll give you a couple minutes. Give it till the 12-minute mark on the clock to get down here. 352-3346. If you've got that ticket, give us a wave if you're up there so we know that you're going to be headed down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, Dance Dynamic will perform their hip-hop routine. Dance Dynamic would like to recognize their senior members, Jada West and Captain Maggie Fitzpatrick. Ladies and gentlemen, Dance Dynamics.
Dynamics, a fantastic performance as always. Always great halftime entertainment, and we're going to keep it right here. Once again at halftime, it's 49-0. Oskaloosa just dominant so far in this one. The band, the Oskaloosa Marching Indians, going to come out here for their halftime show. We're in the thick of marching band season. They have continued to improve what has been fantastic as the seniors are being introduced here as well. But what a fantastic performance they had at their band competition on Saturday last week. They're at Valley Fest this Saturday, which is, for a lot of kids, their biggest date, the biggest crowd that they're going to be able to see and perform in front of, and they'll look to get an impressive score there as well. So let's go ahead and tune in. The PA, Jeff Akers, is going to be talking about these kids, talking about the show, and then let's go ahead and take a listen in to the Oskaloosa Marching Indians and their show for the 2017 season.
Ethan Tabbert, Paul Ginnivan, Sydney Katko, Audrey Chambers, Courtney Van Holzen, and Zoe Verbeek. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2017 edition of the Oskaloosa Marching Indians. Tonight's performance is based on the music of Gustav Holst's landmark composition, The Planets. It has been slightly more than 100 years since its composition, and tonight we present to you Mars, the bringer of war, Mercury, the winged messenger, and Jupiter, the bringer of jollity. Is the band ready? Marching Indians, the field is yours for our halftime performance. Let's hear it for the Oskaloosa Marching Indians. The Marching Indians are under the direction of Rich
Oskaloosa Marching Indians, what a fantastic band. And great show. It's the first time the home crowd has been able to see the show as a whole. And we're, as mentioned, in the absolute thick of marching band season there at Valley Fest tomorrow, which a lot of people consider the big date on the calendar because you play in front of a huge crowd. You get scored by some of the best judges around the Midwest. And, of course, you're seeing pretty much all of the best bands from not only around Iowa, but there are also a few imports from other states as well that play at Valley Fest. So that's where they are tomorrow, and a fantastic show by them here in this one. We'll go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the second half. Oskaloosa 49, Keokuk nothing in a blowout here on the No Coast Network.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Swims.
Oskaloosa, a 49-0 lead going into the second half. They just come back onto the field. Halftime entertainment, of course, provided by Dance Dynamics, the dance team here at Oskaloosa High School, as well as the Oskaloosa High School Marching Indians. And football team, they have done their job so far, 49-0. I'm joined by my partner, as always, Doug DeCock. Coach Jay Harm's wandering around. Doug, first half, the stats are pretty telling of the story. The only thing that you can think of now is just trying to get different guys plugged in different spots, stay healthy, and try to grow a little bit with some of these younger guys.
Yeah, hopefully our reserves come out and they play hard. You know, start at 0-0 here and just do the best they can. You know, you never know when an injury is going to pop up, and you're going to be put in a game, and a big game next week, and you need to be ready and know what you're doing. So, be some good game time for some of those guys, and hopefully they respond and they play hard.
We were talking baseball a little bit because you and me are, I think, baseball first kind of guys, and the Washington Nationals and Chicago Cubs started their game about 3 hours after the Yankees and Indians.
Wow.
Well, the Yankees and Indians are sitting as they're preparing to go to the bottom of the 12th, tied at 8. And then the Cubs and Nationals are in the top of the 8th already. 3 hours behind them, by the way. They're already in the top of the 8th. Cubs leading 2-0. There have been 5 total hits in the game. Strasburg for the Nationals and Hendricks for the Cubs throwing absolute gems through 7 innings each, although Hendricks left with no runs against him and a couple of runs scored against Strasburg with RBI hits by who else? Bryant and Rizzo, both an RBI hit. So
they get that win. That's a huge win on the road. Isn't that on the road?
That is in Washington.
Yeah.
And that is with Hendricks against Strasburg.
The Cubs are peaking right now,
well,
too.
they changed you were thinking the Cubs are, if anything, punting game 1, because then they lined up, you know, Lester and Arrieta later on in the series. And Hendricks is a great pitcher. Let's not get crazy here, but they line up pretty well after game number 1. So certainly you don't count out Max Scherzer, Mad Max, in game 2 if you're the Nationals and Dusty Baker, their manager. But Nationals were my World Series pick preseason. I'm going to roll with them until I'm told I cannot otherwise. And we'll see. It's still 2-0. And their offense is great. Hendricks just was pinch hit for. So he's out of the game, and the Cubs bullpen has been less than stellar for a lot of the years. So you don't know. You just never know. We'll keep an eye on those scores for you already. As Doug mentioned, the Astros took care of business 8-2. They're up 2-0 over the Red Sox in the series, well on their way. We'll go to Fenway Park in a couple of days, and then later tonight, still yet to start in about 45 minutes, will be the, as there's a touchback, this kickoff is driven into the end zone by Blom. Running clock, by the way, will be starting immediately after we start the second half. Second half's going to fly by here, but a team that we both like, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're going to be playing the Dodgers, and they actually were 11-8 against the Dodgers this season, and the Dodgers won 104 games. So that kind of tells you what kind of setup that's going to be. It's going to be really a fun series, and I actually like the Diamondbacks to win.
I think there was only 1 or 2 teams that had a winning record against the Dodgers, and one of them was the Diamondbacks.
And that was the only one within their division. As Miles runs on late here for Oskaloosa, the clock already has started. This is going to be just a simple handoff up the middle. Nice run by Antonio Smith, and he'll eventually be brought down on about the 41-yard line. Look at him carry guys for a gain of 21. The second and even third unit in a lot of cases out there right now for Oskaloosa, getting some work with Oskaloosa, 49-0 lead here.
I don't care what unit it is. They need to play hard. Keokuk's playing a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, so they shouldn't be out overmatched here. They need to play hard.
They have 5 wide receivers. Send a man in motion. Mueller takes a snap, and he's going to read option, pulls it back. That's a good read right there. Did you see him suck in Riley Miller and then just run behind him? Pickup of about 7 on the play to the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3. But these young players, he's a sophomore running quarterback. The freshman that started, Corey Skinner, it was a mess. And so they've gone with Mueller here. And he seems like he's a good athlete.
Yeah, he's done a good job here. Keokuk's had a few possessions or drives where they've moved the ball a little bit. So. And
I do. We were kind of questioning the play selection early. I kind of like the way they've designed a lot of these plays. They run right up the gut with Smith. This time, nothing doing. He's driven backwards. But that's when you feel like you need to air it out, and you do so early. I can understand, especially if Martinez and Carter and Smith are getting a lot of carries here, and they're getting 4 or 5 yards a pop. On paper, I can tell that a lot of that probably has to do with second half kind of running clock situations.
Yeah.
It's not the first time they've been in a running clock. In fact, you might be surprised by this. This is only the 3rd time they've been in a running clock game. So they've played some teams pretty tough. They played Central Lee and Sheraton both pretty tough within a couple scores. West Burlington, Notre Dame by a couple scores. Here's the snap. Mueller looking to throw on 3rd and 3. Over the middle, right at an Indian, and I believe the interception was made. Can't quite see who that was who dropped back at. But
Snakenberg, wasn't it Coy?
Coy Snakenberg. Yeah, it was right at his numbers, right in between the 1 and the 4, and he makes the pick. Runs maybe for a couple of yards on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Indians at midfield, and that's Coy Snakenberg's first interception of the season.
Yeah, good job by Coy. There it is. Right in the breadbasket at about the 44-yard line, and nice little return up through there to the 50 for the Oskaloosa. So the Oskaloosa offense will take over now.
I think we're going to see our 3rd quarterback of the night.
Yep, here comes Aaron Blom. He's going to get some reps here in the second half. Coach, you're down there. Guys came out of the halftime locker room. What do you think Coach Jenkins and the rest of the staff said to the Indians before they came out here for the 3rd quarter?
Let's get this over with.
There's rain coming.
Yeah, Walker Newman on the carry. He's playing at running back now. Gains a couple to the 48. And there's already 8:40 and counting left in this 3rd quarter. And the clock, outside of possession changing, outside of injuries and timeouts, the clock will continue to move. So this is going to be a pretty brisk second half. Oskaloosa leading 49-0. And that's what the doctor orders as well. Less plays, less chances to make to get injured. As Newman off right tackle, carrying some guys down to about the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Indians.
Emory, I saw this week that volleyball pairings came out in 4A, so maybe we could touch on that a little bit.
Knoxville. Oskaloosa will travel to face Knoxville on Wednesday, October 18th. That's on the road.
Have we played them yet?
No, not this season. It's kind of weird not playing Knoxville in a season as Blom fakes the handoff, keeps it, runs through the right tackle, and he's inside the 30. He's inside the 20, and he's going to go 44 yards for Aaron Blom and a touchdown, Oskaloosa.
Nice run by Aaron Blum on the read option. He's got some quickness. He's a pretty good runner, and he showed it right there.
Well, when he gets to the second level, made one man miss, and then he was able to use the speed to get past the last couple of defenders and able to trot in from 44 yards out. That's the 5th rushing touchdown for a quarterback. Seth Howard had 4 of them, and the first, I don't know, 14 minutes of action.
Yeah, it kind of looked like number 12 there, the way he read that and cut through there and took off. But, hey, got a score for you down here, guys. Washington 44, West Burlington Notre Dame 0.
Ooh, Washington's playing well. I really think that they're settled in on what they're doing now. Their offense is clicking. So I mentioned it earlier tonight. We're going to see the best Washington team of the year next week.
Blom kicks the extra point. We'll go ahead and take a quick break and be back with more. Oski leading 56-0 here on the No Coast Network.
Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
Oskaloosa gets a 44-yard touchdown scamper by Aaron Blum, the third quarterback. The sophomore able to run it out, added the extra point. And 7:47 to go. The running clock will still be in effect. We're just past the top of the 9 o'clock hour. We appreciate you for joining us, listening live on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. You're watching us live with help of the Oskaloosa Video Production Program at OHS. And that is on RadioKMZN.com as well as MCG Channel 7. Blom to kick off with the win at his back. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, and the coach, Jay Harms, down roaming the sideline. The Indians looking good. 56-0 over Keokuk, getting set for that monumental matchup, which could decide a playoff berth next week on the road at Washington, as there's another touchback kicked by Blom. And Coach, you're down on the sideline again. We talked about it an awful lot, but you know a lot of those girls on the volleyball team, including Josie Bunnell, has been a good leader for them. We kind of touched on it. They're going to be playing at Knoxville for their first round matchup in a couple of weeks. And they seem to be road warriors. They don't seem to be out of anything, especially when they're challenged. And Knoxville seems to be a team that hasn't played the competition Oskaloosa has this year.
Well, you know, they were in the little Hawkeye Conference, and they dropped down. I shouldn't say dropped down, but they switched conferences over to South Central, and old conference that we used to be in when I first came here. And, yeah, I mean, little Hawkeye Conference is much tougher, the competition that our kids have played. You know, I know Knoxville this year, didn't they win the conference, South Central volleyball?
Yeah, they've played well.
Yeah, I know they've had a good year. I don't know if they've even lost a conference game. So, you know, situation, it'll be a tough one for the girls on the road, but I know that they played Knoxville and a lot of things, you know, in different sports, and they've always competed very well against them. So I'm sure they're excited about going over there and playing Knoxville.
3-yard run for Mueller on a little draw on the first play. Nice tackle from DJ Miles at 2nd and 7 from their own 23. This will be another little run off the left tackle, and he slips and falls. It's the first time we've really seen that, a slip. Hoven was there to make sure he was on the ground, and it'll bring up a 3rd and about 8. But the winner of that Knoxville-Oskaloosa matchup.
What a present that is.
They get to draw. They're now 4th ranked, so they haven't lost. But Pella is now 4th ranked, and I got to see them on Tuesday in the Little Hawkeye Conference matchup against Oskaloosa. And holy cow!
Isn't one of them already verbally committed to UNI?
Probably. I couldn't confirm that
She's
for you.
a good basketball player, too.
Emily Holterhouse.
Holterhouse, that's it.
A little pitch to the outside. Martinez breaks it down. Nice move by Martinez, and he's across the 40. He's trying to get to the outside, and he'll be brought down. That's a good tackle, good-looking tackle out there. I believe Mason Ford out there on the stop, but not before big yardage from Martinez. They still have a lot of their starters out there trying to get something going, and inside Oskaloosa territory to the 45-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. That was a great move. And he made Hoven whiff on that tackle on that far side of the field.
Yeah, good tackle there by Mason Ford, getting him down, but good run by Keokuk.
UNI is starting to grab some really good volleyball players from around the state of Iowa, namely Carly Taylor, who went to Eddyville Blakesburg Fremont. What a monster she was in the Class 2A ranks. EBF a 3A team. They'll be playing a conference team in Albia in the first round of the regionals. How did Martinez stay on the feet? Martinez was able to somehow stay on his feet, but eventually was hit by Miles, and that's the tackle after a gain of 6 to the 39. Inside of 5 minutes to play, third quarter, Oskaloosa 56, Keokuk 0. So yeah, volleyball. There's a lot of interesting matchups, but one that I'm really excited about is Montezuma hosting North Mahaska in the 1A regionals. Region 4 in Class 1A. Montezuma's been ranked in the top 15 all season. They're ranked 9th right now. As here's a little handoff to Antonio Smith, bounces off a tackle, gets inside the 35. Another tackle is made by the shoestring. And it looks like...
Nice tackle there.
Yeah, that was Braden Van Kampen, sophomore. So that'll bring
back took a big hit there and was able to bounce off of it, and Van Kampen came up and made a nice tackle.
It's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Chiefs. This is, I think, their best. No, they were a little closer when they threw the pick to Young, but this is one of their best drives of the day. They have 3 wide receivers. Pistol. Smith is the deep back. Mueller takes a snap, a little option again, and he's going to keep it. Loses the football, and Smith jumps on it. It'll be a loss of 4 back to the 36-yard line. But Montezuma, they're ranked 9th. You know the best team, the highest-ranked team in their region is?
Who's
8th.
that?
North Tama. They're ranked 8th.
Oh,
so, like, on
right.
paper, you would say that, much like the softball team for Montezuma, kind of got a nice draw, got a little help. They might be able to make a deep run as well, and we'll have that one. That's on Tuesday, October 17th. So we're excited for the postseason for volleyball. We know who's playing who. In football, we have to play a couple more weeks before we figure that all out. By the way, history was made last night in Oskaloosa. We'll get to that in a second. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side for Keokuk on 2nd and 14. The snap, this will be a handoff to Martinez off right tackle. He's trying to run away from the pursuit. He does, inside the 30 to the 25, down to about the 20 before Ford chases him out. Nice pickup of about 18 yards, and he'll have another 1st down into the red zone. 1st and 10 Chiefs at the 19 with under 3 minutes to play. Oskaloosa hosted their first girls swimming meet at the Oskaloosa YMCA.
Oh, that's right. I forget. Williamsburg and
Vinton-Shellsburg.
Vinton-Shellsburg. How'd that go? You heard anything on that?
Yeah. It was a success, first of all. That's the first time that venue has hosted a high school swimming meet. They've hosted a lot of youth swimming meets.
They did back in when I was here in the 80s. I think the last one they had there was 1987.
Wow. Okay. So in my lifetime, at least, is Martinez off left tackle for 3 yards. But you know, one of the things when the proposed new rec center was being proposed, legit full-on 8-lane competition pool. It's not easy to build, obviously, but the scores: Oskaloosa fell to Vinton-Shellsburg 61-31, but beat Williamsburg 49-42. And a first-place finisher was Veronica Balabaugh in the 200-yard individual medley. So that was really cool. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of personal bests as well. So always really fun to see that kind of stuff, as this is going to be a handoff up the middle and a gain of about 3 to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd and roughly 5 in the red zone here for the Chiefs. Oski, the lead 56-0 with 1:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter with the running clock in effect. But yeah, so we got girls swimming, we got volleyball getting figured out. The cross-country team's looking strong. They had a great meet.
The boys have won a couple meets, haven't they?
Last few, actually.
Yeah, they won at Centerville. They've won 3. We're joined up here by Athletic Director Ryan Parker. He does not have a microphone or headset, but he just made us aware of that.
Mueller up the middle, and it's going to be Walker Newman making the tackle. Short of the 1st down, a couple of yards gained. It'll be 4th and 3 here for the Chiefs, and likely a go for it situation. But the cross-country team on the women's side as well, the girls finished in 2nd, had their best showing again in that Centerville meet, only losing a very good Fort Madison squad. So, yeah, good stuff there.
Oh, the boys are ranked in the top 10. That's excellent.
Yeah, they have been on a nice little run.
From what I understand, that's key because you can get placed. They try not to place you in another tough district to get to state.
Little pitch is behind the back, and this is going to be Oskaloosa football regardless. And it's recovered actually by Oskaloosa. Riley Miller picked it up, and the Indians will have it. 30 seconds and counting your 3rd quarter. Oskaloosa able to stave off the scoring opportunity. They'll have 1st and 10 at their own 19. But not only that, but the team itself. I talked to Coach Mike Comfort on the Hy-Vee homestretch yesterday about the cross-country team, and he says this, with the pack that he's got of the top 5 guys, he feels very strongly about where his guys will be with the ability to potentially qualify as a squad for the first time in his tenure on the boys' side. So that's going to be very exciting as well. They'll find out in the coming days about where they're going to be running their district meet. But we'll go ahead and we'll take a break for now, as that is the end of the 3rd quarter thanks to the running clock. Oskaloosa will take back over. 12 minutes left in regulation. All Indians as they lead Keokuk 56-0. Take a short break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
Welcome back. 56-0. Oskaloosa the lead over Keokuk. Fourth quarter about to begin. If you're looking for a show that talks all about scores, be sure to join us on 104.9 FM KBOE and right here on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. So we're going to have Scores and More presented by Bubbler. Oskaloosa, just one of several teams in our listening area. There are 23 football teams in our listening area, several of them still in the playoff hunt, and looking to move forward here.
So good job by the Oskaloosa defense there, preserving the shutout.
Yes, although we are kind of distracted talking about different things, the defense did step up with a lot of second teamers out there thwarting a red zone opportunity.
Yeah, excellent job.
Little floaty pass out to the outside. Good job by Miles just to catch it, because that was a backwards pass, and if he doesn't catch that, it's a live ball. Still loses about 5 yards on the play. The timing was off on that one, and Keokuk able to read it. It's going to be a loss of 5, 2nd and 15.
So Oskaloosa's got a lot of reserves in there. Let's try to get the ball out of deep in our end zone here. We're going to have to punt into the wind if we don't.
Here's Blom, handoff up the middle. Shoestring tackle made, and a good one by Keokuk after a gain of about 5, as DJ Miles able to make a couple of guys miss. I believe that was tackle Matt Wyatt. We'll get credit for the tackle. Jeff Akers helping me out with that one.
Yeah, we got great listeners out there. I just was text an update on Iowa State quarterback.
Okay, hold that thought as Miles is off the left tackle to about the 24-yard line. It'll be a 4th and 5 for Oskaloosa here, and likely punt situation, you'd imagine.
This is from the university. Iowa State quarterback Jacob Park is taking a leave from the football team to work through some personal health issues. He remains a member of the team, but he will be inactive beginning with Saturday's game at Oklahoma. So there you have it.
Personal health issues.
Yeah, that's not good.
Personal health issues.
Because you don't get over personal health issues in a week.
Here's a low snap, but Van Rukel's able to dig it out. High kick, but short.
Look at the wind blow that thing back.
That might be a 0-yard punt. I'm not sure.
It's going to be about 6. Oh, my goodness.
1 yard. They gave him 1 yard on the punt. So that'll hurt the average. That'll hurt the old punt average. Inside of 10 minutes of play in regulation, 1st and 10 Chiefs at the 25-yard line, going from right to left, wind at their back. 56-0 Oskaloosa the lead. Well on their way to 5-2 on the season, 4-1 in the District 5 action.
It's kind of like a hit by pitch. It counts against your average.
First and 10. And look at that read option by Mueller, but it was a good play by the Oskaloosa defense, and it looked as though Hunter Mason was the man who was able to, he read it correctly, but Mason did a fantastic job of coming off of his initial read, falling backwards, and making sure that Mueller didn't get away.
Yeah, he did. Mason's good size. He's a junior, 6 foot, 220 pounds, so nice play by Hunter Mason.
2nd and 12, ball at the 27-yard line. Mental health issues or personal health issues. I'm confused at what that might mean.
My guess is that's drinking or something.
Here's a nice wide open pass, and Mueller hits his man inside the 15, inside the 10, turning it up and into the end zone for a touchdown is Matt Wyatt. The senior gets on the scoreboard, and once again, a touchdown scored by Keokuk, and for the 6th game, they put a point on the scoreboard. And now we don't know when a lot of these points happen, but I imagine a couple came in garbage time. They've, like I said, they have played a few close games this season, but Oskaloosa just missed coverage there, and Close will have an extra point here to try to make it 56-7. But personal, yeah, well, again, this guy, the guy.
Don't know. I mean, I don't know.
This is his 3rd school, and
yeah,
he's a junior on the field. Here's the kick is up, and it is good from close. We'll take another quick break, come back, 8:41 to go. We'll talk a little bit more about that and what's happening on our side of the field here in a little bit. Oskaloosa leading by 49 here on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
56-7. It is Oskaloosa over Keokuk with 8:41 to go. And, you know, we were talking about Iowa State and Jacob Park, who was a 5-star recruit. He was an Elite 11 quarterback, so he's been highly touted in his young career. He is in his early 20s. He's in a personal place, a little bit different. Okay, this is a guy that went to Georgia as a 5-star recruit. Didn't make it there, had some problems in Athens, ended up going to a JUCO, I believe, before transferring to Iowa State last year. Halfway through the season, became the starting quarterback. And now, I mean, as this is a touchback here from close, Oskaloosa will get it with 8:30 and counting to go here in the fourth quarter, leading 56-7. But what's interesting here is the first 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks of the season, he looked good. He looked every bit the offensive machine quarterback that he was touted to be. He had the weapons to throw it and hand the ball off to him, David Montgomery, Mike Warren, Alan Lazard, blah, 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 right? And they looked good. They looked good in the loss against Iowa, too. The big key, I guess, Doug, is that he was still a junior on the field, and he's had some issues. But if he doesn't come back at all, that's just that's a sad story. And we don't know the whole story, but that, for an Iowa State program trying to find relevance with a new coach, Matt Campbell, who's highly touted as well, that is a tough break. As Blom will keep it, trying to sweep to the outside. He'll get back to the 20 and then get knocked out of bounds at about the 24.
Well, whatever it is, you know, we wish him the best and hope that he can get through these issues, whatever they are, and get back on the field, because he's shown the ability the first 3 games to be a productive quarterback.
That Texas game was not good. I don't think anybody who watched it would say, if that was the first time you saw Jacob Park, what are you guys talking about? And then they had the little riff on the sideline we were talking about earlier with him and Campbell. But I don't know. He's a fiery guy. He's an interesting fellow, as no gain on the play on the handoff up the gut here. And on the carry was Walker Newman. But at the same time, you feel as though in your head, I mean, he's a different cat. I mean, he's got the Jesus look going on. He's got the beard, the long hair. You know, he showed up to the Thursday night game wearing like this priest suit with a long chain around his neck, you know, and high-fiving the fans and stuff. He's an interesting guy. As Van Leuven on a little jet sweep is going to get back to the line of scrimmage and not much more, maybe a gain of 1 down to the 25-yard line. Coach, you're down there on the field. You're hearing what we're talking about with Jacob Park, and I'm just curious, is it curious to you as to why nobody knew Jacob Park wasn't with the team until nobody saw him check into the team hotel, and what do you think personal health issues might mean?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of speculation. You don't know, it's such a way we can talk and talk and talk, but we don't know what really went on there. And the thing kind of interesting is start of the season, what I heard Matt Campbell say, they thought, he was going to be their savior, at quarterback, because that's why they wanted to move Lanning out of there and play him at linebacker. But, situation, kids in school and a lot of things happen. So be interested to see what eventually comes out, about that. But, hey, I was going to mention, guys, I was watching Blom on that sweep here, and, boy, Coach Dow telling him to get out of bounds. You couldn't see it because of the players standing around him, but he did kind of the splits when he got taken out of bounds. I thought, oh, God, there goes our kicker.
Ooh.
Running the ball, trying to stretch run for a few extra yards.
50-point game.
Yeah, I thought, God, do we have another quarterback? We can just go in and run the Wildcat with somebody to finish this thing off.
Well, there's just 5:15 left. The punt wasn't a great one. It had some good air distance from Van Ruckel, but it took a bad bounce. Now Mueller looking to throw again. He's got a man open. It's Potratz over the middle, and there's a pretty blatant hold in the middle of the field that they're not going to call, and that's going to lead to a Potratz touchdown. So there's another touchdown.
Well, we're going to have to get some guys out of the game if they're going to score in one play like that.
Well, there was a pretty significant hold over the middle of the field, and well, you'll see it on the replay. With 5:01 to go, 56-13, Keokuk is going to put one up. That was a missed. I don't know if it was a missed coverage, but the safety valve over the top to make a tackle was being basically bear hugged in the middle of the field, and that was a shocker that they didn't call a hold on that one. Either way, Oskaloosa is still leading big, but this second and third team defensive unit probably will hear about it, as the extra point is up from close and good. We'll go ahead and we'll take another quick break. Oskaloosa still a 56-14 lead. It's 5:01 to go in regulation here on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-AULD.
Oskaloosa's given up a couple of garbage time touchdowns. At the same time, they still lead at 56-14, 5:01 to go. To get the ball back and probably try to ice the clock and get us out of here and try to keep everybody healthy. We have a final in that Yankees-Indians game now.
Uh-oh.
Cleveland 9, New York 8.
Oh, nice. The Yankees lose.
Austin Jackson scored on a Jan Gomes walk-off single.
All right.
So there's one. The Cubs in the top of the ninth leading 3-0 in what has been a big pitcher's duel in Washington. The Nats will have one last shot at it in the bottom of the ninth, down by 3. 5:01 to go in our game, and it's 56-14. This one was decided about.
Really kick it. He's kicking them out of the end zone the last 2 times.
He's got nothing to lose now. Jammin' Close is his name, by the way. And either way, Oskaloosa had this game pretty much sewn up after the first 3 or 4 minutes when they put up a couple of really quick scores. And they led it by as many as 56 points. All you need to do really is get it to 17, considering the point differential cap is set there. So in terms of your playoff hopes and wild card hopes, those touchdowns don't mean anything. It's more of just you want your guys to execute when they're out there. And you also want to try to keep everybody healthy as Blom's back out there at quarterback for this drive. 4:15 and counting. And again, you'd hope this is the last drive of the game. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side with Walker New and the running back. The snap, Blom looking to throw. He'll get to the outside under pressure. And he'll be tripped up from behind to the 18-yard line. That kind of looked like it was in slow motion there for a second.
Well, all the receivers ran go routes. Once Blom starts to scramble, you need to stop and come back to the ball. I think that's something that we really need to work on, even on the varsity or the starter level.
Cade Snakenberg, Dylan Van Leuven, Coy Snakenberg, and on the far side is Cody Gunn. Those are your 4 receivers. Van Leuven, the most experienced of the bunch. So maybe there's something to do with that as well. We've only really seen most of these guys on the defensive side of the ball except for Van Leuven. Blom, again, will snap it right around 3:20 to go now. Second and about 11.
Whoa.
Bobbles a snap. It's a fumble, and there's a scramble for it on the deck. And looks like Blom got back on it. He did. And it'll be 3rd and 15 from the 15. A little sloppy. You're keeping your head in the game here a little bit. Under 3 minutes to play. You're just trying to get through this one the best you can and put it all together for the big one next week. 3 wide. And a snap. Running to his left is Blom looking to throw.
He's wide open.
And he is past the line of scrimmage, I think. Fires down the field. Van Leuven, what a catch over the top inside the 40, and he'll be rushed out of bounds. No flag for an illegal forward pass, so he must have been legal. And what a catch in double coverage by Dylan Van Leuven. How about that, Doug?
Yeah, that was a nice play. He had Snakenberg open on the flat route.
That was like a sea of hands right there. There were 6 hands up there, and Van Leuven was the one who came down with it.
That was a nice catch by Van Leuven, and then a nice job running the ball. So Oskaloosa gets it out of the danger area here late in the 4th. We do have an upset in the making if the score is correct. It's in the second half. It's West Liberty 14, Williamsburg 2.
What? Blom looking down the field, firing for Van Leuven, just out of the reach. I think he kind of slowed up on his route. If he would have kept running, he might have had a shot here.
He stopped running. He looked back, and he kind of stopped. If he'd kept going with his route, he would have been in position to make that play.
We might get out of here in time to watch all of Arizona and Los Angeles.
Clayton Kershaw on the mound tonight.
And Robbie Ray had to be used for the Diamondbacks in that wild card game, that crazy wild card game they had against Colorado. So they're going with Taijuan Walker are the Diamondbacks against Kershaw.
Kershaw, one of the 2 guys trying to shake the postseason blues, him and Bryce Harper.
Here's a run up the middle by Walker Newman, and maybe one more snap will get it done here for Oskaloosa, leading 56-14 down inside the 30. David Price can be the same could be said for him. He's out of the bullpen now for the Red Sox, but he can't get into the game because the Astros are killing the starting pitching, Chris Sale included.
Yeah, the Astros are a good team. It's going to be fun baseball playoff.
By the way, I think Taijuan Walker going in game 1 works for the Diamondbacks because now Kershaw's not going against their ace. Kershaw, as it's through the hands of Coy Snakenberg, but that very well could be the last play of the game inside of 40 seconds. Just real quick, though, that puts their ace and their number 2 against the lesser pitchers. And they still have some good pitchers like Yu Darvish, but I think it lines up really well for Arizona. As they're waiting to start the play clock, and they'll start it now. And we're lined up. You may not need to snap it again if you're Oskaloosa. And if you do, you can just take a knee. 56-14 likely will be the final score. They will snap it here, it looks like. There's the snap.
The snaps are hot and they're shin high.
Look at Newman up the middle to the 15-yard line, and that'll do it. That'll do it. 56-14, Oskaloosa gets the big win, holding serve at home against Keokuk, and that sets up what will be a huge matchup with Washington, who is taking care of West Burlington Notre Dame, and that was also tonight. We were able to dodge the big monsoon. It happened in the pregame, able to dodge it during the game. Oskaloosa looked strong. The starters were out of the game by mid-second quarter. It was a fun night to be an Indian on senior night. Now they go on the road for 2 games to try to get back to the playoffs for the 2nd consecutive year. We'll take a break. Come back with the post-game show after this right here on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
You built a castle,
so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
Main Street Oskaloosa is dedicated to giving our community the downtown they want and deserve. We bring vibrant community events like Art on the Square, Christmas in July, and the Lighted Christmas Parade to downtown Oskaloosa. We believe in the unique value of our district and work to support business here. Our city's history is important and it drives our efforts in the revitalization and preservation of downtown. In 2017, we received the Signature Project Award for our inspiring and innovative placemaking efforts. Our goal is a downtown Oskaloosa can be proud of. For more information, contact Emily Brown at 641-672-2591.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's. Get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners. Cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture. And find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Miranchito or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Back here live, and Oskaloosa Indians, a 56-14 win over the Keokuk Chiefs, moves their record to 5-2 overall and 4-1 on district play. The important thing here is that Oskaloosa also won by 17 points, and if you're an Indian supporter, that sets up the huge matchup with Washington next week. Coach, you're down there on the field. You're standing right at midfield. You watched this one. This game, you knew it was going to be tough to keep the guys mentally engaged, but more than anything, I think that our first team for Oskaloosa is going to be feeling really good when they go to Washington next week.
Well, they did what they had to do. You know, a situation going in the season, we've talked about this already tonight, you know, realistically what we looked at when the schedule came out and where you're going to be and so forth. 2 games that we thought we could possibly lose, Sol and Pella. Okay, that's their 2 losses. It was going to come down to you're going to beat Washington at Washington to probably to assure yourself of getting in the playoffs again. So that's right where you're at, you know. So now it boils down to that one game, even though you have a game after that. You have to travel on the road again. The last 2 games a year, the Indians will be on the road. But, you know, knowing that Washington game was going to be that big one. So now here they are. They're ready to go. They got a week to prepare, to get ready, you know, for the Demons. And it's going to be an interesting game next Friday night. But, you know, I like what I see out of this Indian football team. And I think if we can you know, take care of the football and, you know, step it up a little bit defensively, cut down on some penalties that we've had throughout the year. I think they'll be in good shape going to Washington next week. Guys, it's been a lot of fun, you know, working with you this football season, and hats go out, thanks Coach Guile and the video production crew, what they've done, for the football games. They've worked with us here, so it's been a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, Coach, thanks so much for being a part of our broadcast. It's been fun to have you down there on the sideline, giving us an extra voice and an extra set of eyes down there, and we really appreciate everything you brought to the broadcast. My next thing that I want to say to you is, how many days until softball?
Well, actually, that's kind of interesting you asked that. I've been working on the pitching-catching workouts, working on the old calendar, getting them down when we'll be starting on that. So that's not that far off that we'll start throwing and getting her cranked up and get ready for another season.
Thank goodness. Thanks, Coach. Thanks so much. And we'll be checking in with you sometime in the near future on the Hy-Vee home stretch for sure.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
All right, that's Coach Jay Harms. Doug, look at some of the stats. 469 total yards for Oskaloosa, and their first team only played a quarter and maybe like a third of the second quarter. You look at the offensive plays, they ran 17 less offensive plays than Keokuk. They only ran 39 offensive plays and were able to get 469 total yards. So that tells you what Oskaloosa was up to in this game, and only about 17 minutes of time of possession. I mean, it's just really quick drives. As you're seeing some of the highlights of this one. Here is Seth Howard on the run toward the end zone. He had 4 rushing touchdowns in the game. That one, the shortest of his rushing touchdowns, but what a fantastic game that he had at quarterback. That's one of the major reasons that Oskaloosa was able to work so well against Keokuk tonight, is his ability to run the football.
Yeah, good job by the offense tonight. They hit some big plays and really got out to a quick start. Next week's D-Day, next Friday, we'll be in Washington, Iowa, and we're going to find out if we're in the playoffs for sure. Even with a loss, we will have a chance to make that wild card. But
we can actually start doing math after next week on the wild card as well.
Let's just hope we go take care of business down there.
Then it won't matter.
And it doesn't matter, and we can start making plans for a playoff game. And this team is getting healthy, and it could be a dangerous team to play in the first round if I'm somebody around the state. So let's hope the Indians can take care of business next week, one of the biggest game of the year coming up.
Yeah, seeing more of what Oskaloosa was able to accomplish. Casey Hill, a big-time run there. Looking at some individual stats, Seth Howard, 5 rushing attempts for 133 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's pretty efficient if you ask me. Aaron Blum, actually, with 4 rushes for 48 yards, was next in line. He also had a rushing touchdown with a big 44-yard touchdown scamper. Seth Howard, 2 for 5 passing the ball. Didn't have to do it much, but did have a 58-yard touchdown pass to Jared Cruz, had 99 yards in the game. Cole Henry went 4 for 9 in relief for 94 yards. He also had a 50-yard touchdown pass. This is just a fantastic team that Oskaloosa has been able to rally around, and they got a big win tonight, 56-14. Doug, thanks so much for, of course, your help tonight, and can't wait to see what happens next week when we travel to Washington.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and great job, Emery, again, and thanks also to Coach Harms. That's nice having somebody on the sidelines, maybe getting a little insight like that. So been a fun home season. Weather held off tonight for us, so we're ready to go. We're right where we want to be.
Absolutely. Oskaloosa final score tonight was a 56-14 victory. Big thanks to my partners in crime, Coach Jay Harms, Doug DeCock, and of course Titus Letzering, our on-site technical director, as well as Kenny Jones back in the No Coast Network studios, the entire Oskaloosa video production program at Oskaloosa High School for helping us out with our home games and our away games. We'll be back in action next Friday on the road at Washington for a matchup that will likely determine a playoff berth, and be sure to join us next week at 7 o'clock, and we'll have all the details for that early next week. Stay tuned in for Scores and More, presented by Bubbler. That's going to be following this. Final score once again, 56-14. Oskaloosa with the big win over Keokuk. They are now 5-2 on the year, 4-1 on the season in Class 3A District 5 play. My name's Emery Songer. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching and listening right here on the No Coast Network.
You've been listening to Oskaloosa Indians football.
Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxfort's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Petrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing.
This has been a presentation of the No Coast Network.